What is up, everybody? What is up? What is up? Welcome back to episode 70 of the Super Grapple Bros podcast about two brothers who are former WWE employees that enjoy wrestling and video games. And I am your host, Murpho, not doing it solo. We actually are the Super Grapple Bros once again for the first time in 3 months. Allow me to welcome back the returning DMurph.
Yay, I can see the sun again.
So, for those who've been wondering, where have you been? How's life been? How have things been over the last few months? Pretty chaotic, right?
Yeah, I've spent most of my time in Brooklyn, inside a power plant, not seeing the sun, doing a lot of work, getting incredibly tired and injured at points, and yeah.
and doing and having plenty of free time to watch wrestling and play video games.
Yeah, I literally today, right before we started the stream, was able to finish watching everything from Survivor Series weekend. And other than Buddy Murphy winning the Cruiserweight Championship, that is the only wrestling I have watched since All In on September 1st.
So you did watch that from Super Showdown, though?
Yes.
Of course you did, because Buddy Murphy is Buddy Murphy.
Yeah.
That was actually a really goddamn good match. I think that was arguably the best match of Super Showdown, from what I can remember.
What I remember I saw not long after I finally got to watch it. WWE did a poll of which match was the best at Super Showdown. And they did like DX versus Brothers of Destruction and AJ versus Samoa Joe and all that. And literally every reply was just, what about Buddy Murphy?
Mm-hmm. That pop he got, though, that was huge.
Oh, yeah. Well, he's from Melbourne.
Yes. Today, by the way, for episode 70, we are doing a review of NXT TakeOver WarGames 2 Survivor Series, and we are also going to be doing predictions for the Game Awards. I read off the nominees last time. Now we're just going to try and take our best educated guesses and predict who's going to win. We may get to wrestling news. We may get to gaming news. We're on a tight schedule today, so we're going to try and cram in the reviews and the predictions first and then try to get to the news if we can. So with that said, I would also like to approach the chat and say hi to Jay Walt, by the way. You can get involved in the chat live on Twitch with the live version of the show at twitch.tv/L_Murpho. Be sure to check it out. And hello to Big Stupid for the $100 cheer, saying defending about 5 or 6 times over. Which is fitting because you really have been the Brock Lesnar of this show for the year of 2018.
Well, guys, I'm just going to explain quickly. One of the other reasons I haven't been around, we didn't really want to talk about this, is kind of behind-the-scenes stuff. After the first year of the podcast, I was so popular that when we signed a new contract, I like Brock Lesnar, got limited dates, and you've just been burning through all of them in the beginning of the year.
Yeah.
So now you got to kind of sparse it out now.
Okay. Yeah. Meanwhile, and I won't say I'm a lot of people will like to say that I'm the Roman Reigns of this situation, but I also like to liken myself to CM Punk, because CM Punk made the argument as well. I've been here just about every single week, killing this podcast, taking it on my shoulders by myself, while you've just been, of course, lounging about, not doing anything of importance, and just resting on your laurels, not having to do predictions.
And Brock Lesnar still beat both of them.
Yeah. Speaking of the predictions, I won against the viewers. Had a clean sweep of NXT TakeOver WarGames and only had 2 wrong in Survivor Series. But of course, as we looked back and you told me who you would have picked if you were doing predictions, you would have beaten me by 1 goddamn pick.
Yep.
Because you were also perfect at WarGames with your personal predictions, and you also I think you only had 1 wrong match called at Survivor Series. You had 1 wrong match, I think, predicted.
I think so, yeah.
Which was Nakamura over Seth Rollins.
Yeah.
And I had but you had AOP beating the Bar.
Yep.
Which I didn't have, and that was the difference maker.
Yeah.
But even if I did have AOP over the Bar, we would have tied, and you would have won by your goddamn technicality that you've retained the championship on so many times in the last 6 months. I swear to God, I'm going to get this championship off of you come WrestleMania, because there's no chance in hell I'm letting you have a 1-year reign.
It's cool. We'll see what happens. I'll get some custom plates for that. Maybe if I actually do get to go to WrestleMania this year.
Yeah, the side plates on this actually are stuck in there.
All right.
Not
Well,
customizable. Or actually, no, they have the
the screws.
the screws in there.
Are
Yeah, you
hidden
can take.
behind there.
Yeah, you can definitely take the side plates off.
So I'll get some custom ones made. I'll put them in when I go to WrestleMania this year. If I get to, I'll bring them with me. I'll do autograph signings if people want.
I'm more willing to do G1. What is it? The G1 Supercard.
You mean the thing that sold out day of?
Yeah, well, you can always get it on secondary markets. You never know. Though
Personally,
I am a little shaken that Cody Rhodes is going to be at the show. Cody Rhodes and Kenny Omega apparently are not going to be competing at the G1 Supercard. I don't know. I'm not 100% sure on Kenny, but I'm 100% sure on Cody, which is disappointing. And speaking of, one final tangent before we actually get into the point of the show. I don't know if you heard me, if you've been listening to all the podcasts I've been doing while you've been gone. But ROH Final Battle. Remember when we went and saw that in 2008?
I thought it was 2009.
No, it was 2008. I think we saw it.
Okay.
Yeah, it was 2008 that had Bryan Danielson in the main event. Also had Austin Aries versus a man named Tyler Black, who would go on to become known as Seth Rollins as well. 10-year anniversary of that is happening 2 weeks from today.
Wow.
By the way, just FYI, I just want to slide that in there just in case you maybe think maybe we could squeeze some money in for some cheap tickets. Go. Probably not, because it's the holidays and we both are getting hit with major expenses. Me for medical stuff because I had to get an X-ray on my shin so I could go back to playing hockey, and you just had something bad happen with your car
and my house.
Yeah,
let's not forget that.
Yeah, that's actually what kept you out for a little bit longer than normal, for like an extra month longer.
Yeah, basically me doing a month straight of 12-hour shifts literally every single day, not a day off for 39 days, all going into my house.
Yeah.
It's great.
Well, if you want some good news, Big Stupid says that as your advocate, he'll take care of your side plates for you.
Sounds good to me.
All right. So enough tangents. Let's get into the meat of the actual show. But it's been a while since we've been able to have this little back and forth banter and to catch up. And people are curious to know what you've been up to, how you've been doing. So it's nice to get this little rapport back. It's nice for me to not be talking into a microphone and into a camera. As much as I appreciate everybody on chat, it's nice to actually have somebody to converse with on the show.
Understandable.
So
now the Super Grapple Bros are going to start off talking about the King of Bros, right?
Yeah. Bro. We're going into NXT TakeOver WarGames. We're going to review that first. And what a goddamn show that was. I swear, like, NXT, almost every single takeover. Again, like we say this every time there's a takeover. It's like, this might be the best takeover yet. NXT almost seems to continue to outdo itself with almost every single show.
Exactly.
And WarGames kicked off with Matt Riddle versus Cassius Ohno. We got the I think was the NXT TakeOver debut of Matt Riddle. I'm pretty sure he had a match or two where he beat up a couple of jobbers.
He's had a couple matches. Yeah.
There seems to be a slight echo coming from my mic, apparently.
Way to have a slight echo coming from your mic.
It might be because that might be why. It might be that you're a little too. Let's see if we do this. There, that works, the omnidirectionalness. Let me know if that works. We're working at the kinks. It's been like 3 months since we've had to do a 2-person podcast, so apologize if there's some technical issues. But thank you, Big Stupid, for keeping us honest and on our toes. So we've got Matt Riddle versus Cassius Ohno, as we were saying. I think he had 1 or 2 matches with jobbers in NXT.
I don't remember who, but I know he's had a few matches on NXT.
And he came out saying that he wanted a match for NXT TakeOver. Cassius Ohno, who's been trying to get a match with him lately, was basically saying, you can't just come out and say that you have a match, but if you want, I'll kick your ass right now. Or Matt Riddle antagonized Cassius Ohno, so it was like, okay. They went in there, they decided to have an impromptu match. The bell rang, knee to the face, bell rang again.
Yep.
Matt Riddle defeated Cassius Ohno in a real quick match. I think it was great for Matt Riddle. Looked good for him to build him coming up. The only thing that concerns me is just now what's going to happen with Cassius Ohno. They were building him up as like this really big heavy hitter.
He's the knockout artist.
As the knockout artist, and now
he got knocked out.
Yeah,
very, very quickly.
Yeah, so I don't know. This might be the beginning, maybe, of a rivalry between him and Matt Riddle. I just don't hope that like this is as far as Cassius Ohno or Chris Hero is ever gonna go, as being like that lower tier guy in NXT that just jobs out to everybody who's gonna come in and debut and go up the roster, and Cassius Ohno's only job is to beat up on the jobbers.
No, don't worry. He'll eventually make it up to SmackDown Live and just be used every now and then, just like Tyler Breeze and Ty Dillinger and all of them.
I don't know. I want to be a little more optimistic. I think this might be the development of a nice long rivalry. And I would also like to hope that maybe Cassius Ohno will be treated more like Andrade Cien Almas.
I would hope that.
Because Almas was basically in the position that Ohno is in now.
Yeah.
For a while.
He got the title.
Yeah, then they decided they gave him Zelina Vega as a mouthpiece, and they're like, we're strapping a rocket to you, buddy.
That reminds me of something. Quick fun fact.
If you're going to talk about Zelina Vega, that's in the news that we'll get to after we do our reviews. Yes, I do know that. If you want to bring it up now, we can mention it now. Fun fact: Zelina Vega.
Why don't we wait till the Johnny Gargano match?
What? Wait, what? Oh, okay. All right, I know why you did. I know. I understand now. So yeah, that was Matt Riddle versus Cassius Ohno. Any more thoughts?
I'm excited to see what they do with Matt Riddle from here, seeing as how before he even got into WWE, he kept saying that his goal is to be the guy to retire Brock Lesnar. So I'm interested to see what WWE is going to do with a guy who's got a goal like that and used to be an MMA fighter.
Yeah, he doesn't have the size of Lesnar, but he's an MMA fighter, so they might be able to use that to build to it, but we'll see. And who knows if Lesnar's going to be around by the time Riddle gets into the main roster and then gets built up enough to be able to garner taking on Brock Lesnar. Because that could not be for another 4 or 5 years.
Potentially, yeah.
So we'll see. It depends on how quickly they try to push Matt Riddle through NXT.
Yeah, that's true. Girl, King of Bros.
Yes. And then after that match, we had the 2 out of 3 falls match. You just yawned. You made me yawn.
Sorry.
Oh, I take it back. Oh, get out of here. Go. I can do this by my own.
Bye.
Just kidding. Just kidding. Don't leave me. We had the best 2 out of 3 falls match for the NXT Women's title between Kairi Sane and Shayna Baszler, and I feel like this was a good match. I enjoyed it. Like, it wasn't bad. I had fun. I enjoyed it, but I feel like if you had to pick a low point for the show, like, this was probably the least awesome of all the matches. But I still really liked it. I still really enjoyed it. I loved the back and forth. Shayna Baszler is an amazing heel. I loved the fact they had Dakota Kai and Kairi Sane come out towards the end to try and make the save to get involved.
You want to try that one more time?
Dakota Kai and Kairi Sane come out to make the save at the end.
Kairi Sane came out to save herself in the match she's in.
Oh, God. Dakota Kai and Shio Arai.
There you go.
Sorry. Shio Arai. They both won the Mae Young Classic, so I get confused sometimes. And they're also friends.
No.
Didn't Kairi Sane win the Mae Young Classic?
Kairi Sane did.
I thought Io Shirai won last. Oh, no, she lost to Toni Storm in the final.
Yeah.
Still, in the final, and yeah. Whatever.
3 Mae Young Classic finalists in one match.
Yeah.
Sorta.
And Toni Storm was not involved. Dakota Kai was in the Mae Young Classic this year, though. I believe.
She was in both years.
Yes. And she's everywhere. She's also doing NXT and doing NXT UK. She was involved in the NXT UK Women's Championship Tournament.
And she's the Kingslayer.
Yes, she is.
Mm-hmm.
Well, she's the Kingslayer, isn't she?
So does that make her the King of Kingslayer?
I guess so.
She's the King of Kingslaying.
Yes. I still need to watch that video, by the way, the League of Legends video.
Yeah. I haven't seen it yet, but I've seen it all over Twitter.
I've heard that Dakota Kai wrecks and that Seth Rollins was god-awful.
Yeah, and I keep seeing Seth Rollins tweeting at both Dakota Kai and Becky Lynch saying, you guys can't do this. You can't keep stealing all my names. I need something.
That's funny.
Yeah.
Anyway, after that tangent, yeah, it was nice to see Io Shirai and Dakota Kai come out. Io Shirai had a beautiful moonsault
in skinny jeans.
Yes, that's hard to pull off.
Yep.
But unfortunately, it was not to be. Baszler was able to take Dakota Kai down, and I believe she choked her out at the end, didn't she?
No.
Or did she tap out? I can't remember. God.
Sane went for the insane elbow.
Yes.
And she caught her and put into a pin.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. Oh, my God. How did I forget that?
Yeah, that was such a good ending to the match.
That was so good. And the fact that it was a roll-up, too, just helps keep Kairi Sane's looking strong.
Mm-hmm. It was so good.
So, any thoughts? I've kind of been just talking about the match.
I thought this was a great match. It had a lot of good spots in it, and the finish was brilliant. And I'm just a huge fan. Like, I'm a fan of Kairi Sane, but I'm a huge fan of Shayna Baszler, and I'm really excited to see where they go from here. Because she's in the same category that I'd say that Ronda Rousey is, except a little bit better in that she's someone that's done legit fighting and legit fight training and everything, and is also a long-time wrestling fan. The difference between the two of them, though, is Shayna's been going around on the indies for a while before coming to WWE, so she's got a little bit of experience under her belt in actual pro wrestling.
Shayna does?
Yeah.
Oh, yeah, you mean Shayna compared to...
Ronda.
Yeah.
Not saying Ronda's not good, as we find out later, but...
Oh, man. It's gonna. I hope Jessamine Duke and Marina Shafir are good, too, because, God... How good will the Four Horsewomen MMA be in wrestling?
Judging by the fact that they're training down in NXT, and we've also got what's his name over there? Oh, God, I'm tired. Sorry. The fact that they're training in NXT, and they've this short amount of stuff that they've done on TV already, I'd say that they're doing pretty good.
Yeah, I would agree. So the next match after that was quite possibly the best match of the show.
It was real good.
The next 3 matches in the show were really, really good.
Yeah.
But this one, which we were talking about, is Aleister Black versus Johnny Gargano.
God damn.
I'll let you take it.
Yeah, I don't know how Johnny Gargano does not have like 20 concussions from this match alone.
It was a knee that Aleister Black caught Gargano with when he tried to dive outside, right? I remember that
when he tried to dive to the outside, when he tried to do his dive through the rope spear, when he tried to jump off the top rope. Pretty much anytime Johnny tried to do anything, there was a knee waiting for him.
Yeah.
And he is so good at selling things like that. It is just, oh my God, it made it look that much better. Just that glossed over look in his eyes. Oh, man.
I think the best part, one of my favorite parts of the match was when Johnny was telling Aleister Black, just finish me, just kill me. Yeah. Just finish me off. And he just played possum and tried to roll up Aleister Black.
Yep. And then the very, very end of a... Wow, this is bad. I'm forgetting the name of his kick. The Black Mass.
Black Mass. How
he hit the Black Mass and then just caught Johnny before, like with his own body before he could hit the ground. It was like, no. You don't get off that easy. And just wails him with a second one. Oh, so good.
Yeah.
But I did like how they had a couple times Aleister try to hit that on Johnny and Johnny get out of the way. I think there was one time where he ducked under it and did a roll-up, too. I think he may have ducked under it and did the roll-up into that, like, rolling kick that he does.
Yes.
Yeah. Mm-hmm. Oh, my God. This match was so good.
Yes, it was. And it kept Johnny looking strong. Like, I was worried in this match that Gargano wasn't going to look too strong after this. I thought that he was just going to... Not that he wasn't going to stand a chance, but like I thought it was going to be more
one-sided.
More one-sided, and it wasn't. It was pretty damn even, and Gargano got to show off his heel side a little bit.
Oh yeah.
I think one of my other favorite spots was it's when Aleister Black goes to look like he's going to do the suicide dive. He does the backflip into the sitting position. And Gargano just ran around the side of the ring, slid in, and just super kicked him right in the side of the head as he sat down. That was so gross. And then there was also when we're talking about like vicious strikes. What about when Gargano went for the lawn dart?
Yeah.
Oh God.
My God.
Aleister Black does the kind of like strikes that you see in British and in Japan and like New Japan and like the Japanese strong style. The kind of stuff you used to see Nakamura do that he doesn't really do as much anymore.
Yeah. Well,
Or it doesn't look like he hits as hard.
Yeah. Well, I mean, with Aleister Black, he has done very, very strict like judo training and stuff too. And he's done kickboxing. He's done all kinds of, martial arts and everything. So he's had lots of practice with doing all that and then wanting to be a professional wrestler of practicing timing everything just right.
Yeah. Yeah, that's true. That's true. But still, I mean, Nakamura's been doing the Japanese strong style for years and years and years.
Yeah.
And those kinds of strikes. My thing is like, it's not so much that I don't think Nakamura can do it anymore. It's more of is the main roster hindering Nakamura, and will they do the same thing to Black when he moves up to the main roster, or will more guys like Nakamura and Black like being in the main roster lead to more of a kind of strong style striking kind of wrestling in the main roster?
Also, kind of sort of a matter of Nakamura's character has changed, which I think is part of it. Because his character isn't so much about the striking as it is just trying to get a win.
Yeah. I guess.
And it all changed when he started doing those low blows.
Yes.
The Nakamura Nutcracker.
Mm-hmm. Yes. Yes. But anyway, Aleister Black hits really hard, and he hit Johnny Gargano really hard.
A lot of times.
A lot of times. Enough times for Johnny Gargano to be like, okay, that's it. I've had enough, and just laid there for 3.
Like, honestly, at the end of the match, I was just staring at the screen like, Johnny, are you okay, man? Like, are you okay? Is everything all right at home that you're willing to go through this?
Oh, man.
God. So brutal.
Yeah. Hi to Cam in the chat, by the way. Rocking that El Murpho sub button that I made. Basically took some logos, turned them into sub buttons on Twitch. Twitch.tv/L_Murpho, by the way. Check it out. Gotta get those plugs in.
Yeah.
Fun fact, by the way, Aleister Black is now Mr. Zelina Vega.
Yeah, that's the thing we're going to talk about before. Is apparently Aleister Black and Zelina Vega got married over the weekend.
I didn't even know they were in a relationship.
Yeah, apparently most people didn't until Zelina Vega posted on her Instagram her training with him, training for MMA in, I guess, their workout room in their place. And then a lot of people were like, wait, what? So, yeah, good for them.
Yeah, very good. Yeah, I'm happy for him. It was just a surprise. It's like, wait, I didn't know they were dating. Cool.
Yeah.
Kind of thing. Yeah, so let's move on to the next match. And by the way, let me just bring up Austin Aries totally isn't salty about it too. I don't get that.
Well, the one thing I get is Austin Aries seems to be kind of salty about everything, especially since he called himself the title collector, the belt collector, and he's lost literally all the titles.
Has he?
Yeah.
Anyway, by the way, Cam, if you were since you're in the chat, or if Big Stupid, if you guys are in there, just let us know how the echo effect. We've been having an echo effect earlier on the show, apparently. So let us know if that's going over well, if you guys can hear an echo, or if it's fine. It's worked out fine. We hope that people being able to watch this back on YouTube, or on at youtube.com/Elmro for real. People who are listening to this in the audio form, search Super Grapple Bros. Lots of places where podcasts can be found, or watching us back on Twitch, twitch.tv/L_Murpho. Plugs for days. So you can actually get some good quality audio.
You switched up the format of the show then.
No, I'm going to do the plugs at the end too.
So we're going to do it several times.
Yeah, plugs for days.
Okay.
Hashtag plugs for days. That's how we roll now.
I don't think that'll go the way you expect it to.
Hashtag plugs for days.
Okay.
Gotta be trending worldwide.
You're going to start getting
Cam doesn't hear any echo.
You're going to start getting some weird packages in the mails from people. different kinds of plugs.
Not those kind of plugs.
Well, that's what's going to happen.
Not those kind of plugs. This is supposed to be a family show.
We're on the internet.
Not really.
You got to be careful.
Stop. Stop. I'm gonna try to read your name, but you have a blue name in the chat on a black background, and I know that you've been in the channel before, but I'm just trying to read your name. Actually, if I hover it over it, I might be able to do better. Yeah, there we go. Djamla M. Djamla M. If I'm pronouncing it correctly, let me know. Thank you for joining in on the chat, by the way. But let's roll along with the show. NXT Championship match. Velveteen Dream versus Tommaso Ciampa.
The Hollywood Dream.
Yes, because he came out as Hollywood Hulk. I don't know why, but
because they were
Patrick
in Hollywood.
Clark, yeah, but still, Patrick Clark is almost like at every takeover. He's like, "It's takeover time for me to be dressed up as a version of Hulk Hogan again." I am waiting for the Royal Rumble takeover for him to come out in a blue mask with a star on it and to be Mr. Ameridream. God, it's gonna happen.
Well,
I'm calling it right now.
To be fair, he's done it now twice. And the second time he did it because, hey, it's L.A., a.k.a. Hollywood. Why not?
I guess.
I don't think he's going to keep doing that.
Mm-hmm.
At least I hope he doesn't.
I've just pointed out it's 2 takeovers in a row where he's done something like that.
True.
So. And DJ, by the way, says, I mean, no, but you tried. So I made an attempt. I'm sorry. Just call him DJ. So I will call you DJ from now on. Okay. So the match itself, though. Can we just talk about how young Patrick Clark is and how he was able to pull off a match far beyond what people expected of him yet again on another takeover, this time against the arguably potentially the greatest heel in the business right now, Tommaso Ciampa, for the NXT Championship.
He prefers to be called the greatest sports entertainer of all time.
Fine, whatever.
I was surprised by one thing in this match.
Tell me.
Like the thing. Well, let me rephrase. There was one thing that surprised me the most in this match, and that was, oh my God, Tommaso Ciampa has music.
Oh yeah, that's been a thing for a couple of weeks now.
Yeah,
you've been out of the game.
Yeah, exactly.
After he beat Johnny Gargano, he got music.
Okay.
And defended the NXT Championship.
Because I was like, oh, well, it's time for Tommaso Ciampa to come out, so it's going to be nice and quiet. And then all of a sudden this music starts playing, and I'm like, what's going on? This is new.
I've been away for too long. What year is it?
Basically.
Mm-hmm. So let me get your thoughts on the match. What did you like? What didn't you like? Highlights. Good stuff.
I liked the Death Valley driver, more or less. Not what the rolling one that
which is one of Dream's like
Dream
finishers.
does, on the freaking bare concrete on the outside of the ring.
Yep.
And the attempted what's it called?
The elbow drop?
Yeah, the purple rainmaker on the apron.
Mm-hmm.
I liked
my God, he ate it. I was like, Dream, what are you doing? You're still young. Don't do this to your body now. Look at Jeff Hardy.
I was
do
watching
you wanna
that.
Be the next Jeff Hardy?
I was watching that and thinking, well, there's going to be one of two options. Either he's going to miss and break his elbow, or he's going to hit and kill Ciampa. Like, he's going to get him right in the throat, and then Ciampa's going to stop breathing. And then by the time the paramedics come down, it's going to be too late. But, I mean, at least he'll be NXT champion again at that point, because then his opponent won't be able to continue. I mean...
No. Dream would make sure to pin him before referee stoppage.
Yeah. God.
DJ, I'm not mad, by the way. I find it funny that every time I say hello in a chat, someone's like, oh boy, how am I going to pronounce this guy's name? It's just like, oh no, I've really stepped in it now. Yeah. That's it. I'm done. Not doing Twitch anymore. I quit. I don't want to pronounce guys' names like this anymore.
Yeah, there you go.
Yeah, the sky's the limit for Velveteen Dream. Mm-hmm. Do you think he's going to get a call up soon, or do you think after performance like this, they'll wait until guys like Gargano and Black and Ciampa get moved up, and then maybe they put the belt on him to go up against like Adam Cole and
you see,
members of Undisputed Era and stuff like that, and give you Lars Sullivan because he's going to the main roster?
Yeah, here's what I'm thinking about it. I think that'll only happen if Triple H refuses to let go of him. Otherwise, I feel like him and maybe a few other people, like maybe Cassius Ohno or something, appear in the Royal Rumble this year.
Really?
I mean, imagine
I can see it with Cassius Ohno.
Imagine that, like let's say number 18 or something ridiculous like that. You're into the show. It gets quiet. You have just a few guys in the ring, and then all of a sudden, Velveteen Dream's music hits, and he walks out with his own elaborate entrance.
Well, here's the thing. Do you think he'll be in the Royal Rumble as a main roster debut, or do you think he'll be in the Rumble a la Ty Dillinger 2 years ago, where Ty Dillinger was in the Rumble, but he didn't officially get called up until I think like after WrestleMania or something like that?
It might be that. I'm not sure. I just know that I have a feeling that he will be one of the surprise entrants this year because, I mean,
I could see it.
people are going crazy over this guy.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, a
Super
year
over.
ago, 1 year ago from now, did you think you would be seeing Velveteen Dream wrestling for the NXT Championship?
No. Honestly, when Patrick Clark first debuted the Velveteen Dream, I was like, I can see there's something there, but I don't feel it yet.
Yeah, when he
I
first
don't
did
quite
it, there
feel
wasn't really anything.
But I mean, for a while, like Patrick Clark as just Patrick Clark just wasn't working.
Yeah.
Like, it wasn't working at all. Like, it didn't seem believable. It didn't seem charismatic. And then he found Velveteen Dream. And just...
once he nailed the character and had that match with Aleister Black, the sky has been the limit.
Yeah. He's basically just Prince as a wrestler, but it works because
Yeah.
he understands the character and he has the charisma and the ability to pull it off.
And he's got the skill in the ring, too.
Yes, he does. It's just, God. And to think that this man was voted off of Tough Enough.
Yep,
Like,
for people who
relatively
aren't
early
even
on.
around anymore.
Yeah. I remember watching that when it was airing, and I just saw like Patrick and on the show, and just the drive he seemed to have and the passion. I was like, I knew the second I saw him, like, he's the guy who's gonna actually do something out of this entire cast of characters. And then they cut him early on, and I was like, what are these people who are voting doing? What don't they see?
It's because of the fact that Triple H is like, get him over here on
Yeah.
NXT. I want Vince. I don't care. I want him.
This might be me misremembering, and this isn't me like inside information. This was just me, I think, reading something back then. I'm pretty sure I remember hearing something about when Patrick did get voted off the show, that like either Triple H or some of the showrunners or people backstage basically pulled him aside and said, like, don't worry, this doesn't mean you're done. We are going to sign you after this is over.
I'm telling you, it was probably Triple H being like, you see him? He's mine now. He's mine.
Yeah.
He's mine. Stay away. He's mine.
My pet project.
Exactly.
Like most of NXT.
Yeah. And now 205 Live.
Yeah. Okay, let's move on to the main event of WarGames.
Oh, one last thing.
Aside
just
from the
very
fact
quickly.
that, like...
Ciampa is also very good, and that DDT on the diamond plate at the end was insane.
On the diamond plate?
Yeah, that's how the match ended. The diamond plate in between the two rings.
Oh, yes.
That DDT on there, that was just sick. Oh my god.
I didn't know what you meant by the diamond plate. I'm like, there was a plate made of diamonds? What? I don't recall that.
That's what it's called because of the diamond design.
Yeah, the diamond designs on the metal. Yeah. Yeah, no, that was gross.
Yeah.
The second I saw Velveteen get caught up in the ropes like that towards the end, I'm like, oh, I know where this is going.
I was like, oh, well, it was nice knowing you.
Well, Dream, you gave it your best.
Yep.
Gave it your best. All right, so the show's named WarGames.
Uh-huh.
I brace yourself.
Uh-huh.
There is a match called WarGames that main evented the show.
You sure? I thought that
Positive.
was Hell in a Cell 2 Electric Boogaloo.
Well, I mean, that might be what they originally called it back in the WCW days, maybe when Dusty was first kicking it around, even though the idea of this match came to being before Hell in a Cell. But the screen thing where we read our stuff, that it's telling me that it was called.
Oh, yeah. It's called WarGames. Actually, it's called WarGames because it's all one word.
Yes. WarGames.
The WarGames match was
WarGames match.
That sounds so weird.
It's been a while. Can you tell it's been a while since we've been around? Because we're just being stupid today.
It reminds me of in what's that movie? Oh, Brother, Where Art Thou? When they say, and stay out of the Woolsworth.
Stay out of the Woolsworth. Stay out of the WarGames.
Exactly.
Stay out of the WarGames. God. All right, let's talk about the actual match.
So this is the match that had all of the other champions in it.
Pretty much. Yep. Ricochet, Pete Dunne, and War Raiders versus the Undisputed Era. And, oh my God. So good.
It was really good.
So good. I loved, by the way, the psychology of keeping Pete Dunne trapped in the cage, and
Yeah.
attacking him and using the second lock.
Mm-hmm.
That was great. That was just great. It was Bobby Fish who attacked him, right?
Yep, Bobby Fish who attacked him and then put the lock on. I did have one slight problem with it.
What was that?
So the referees decided to wait until he was called to come into the match to then go get the pair of clippers.
Yeah, the bolt cutters.
The bolt cutters to break the lock. They didn't go, oh, hey, he's locked in. Hey, someone should go get that before he's called so we can get him out.
The cameras aren't on them at that point, and it doesn't build the suspense, the tension. It's storyline.
It just bothers me so much. Like, have them there.
That's one of the places where you can
suspend
suspend your disbelief. That's one of the places where you can suspend. I get what you're saying. It's funny, but that's one of the things where you just suspend your disbelief.
I can see it now. Well, there's another lock. What do we do? Go get some bolt cutters. I don't understand what he's saying with that accent. What does he want us to do?
Mm-hmm. Now, aside from the finish and the ridiculous maneuver by the one and only, what were your favorite parts of the match? Or what parts of the match stand out that you remember most?
Kyle O'Reilly being killed by Hanson with, oh, look, I got a triangle choke on someone. Oh, my God, there's a 300-pound man crashing on me through a table.
Yep.
That was insane.
One of my actual favorite parts, which is more of like a psychological, technical stuff, instead of a, oh, my God, holy crap kind of thing, was when it was Pete Dunne was caught in a submission by I think it was Roddy, right? Roddy was the one who had him in the submission.
It's possible.
And the other members of Undisputed Era were basically playing defense, like keeping the War Raiders and Ricochet from going into the ring. And so the War Raiders, after a couple of attempts, were like, okay, and just chucked Ricochet over into the other ring.
That was good, yeah. Now, here's one other thing that was quite possibly my favorite. Not a spot or
spot or a botch.
Yeah, not necessarily my favorite spot or move or anything like that of a match, but my favorite moment in the match, and that's when Pete Dunne was doing the whole breaking the fingers thing, or as a lot of people are referring to it online, the finger gimmick, and he was doing it to Kyle O'Reilly, and right as he's about to do it, Kyle O'Reilly just starts shouting, "Marty!" referring to Marty Skrull, who does the same thing. I saw so many people being like, I lost it when Bobby...
I didn't even notice that.
Yeah.
I didn't even notice that.
He did it twice. I don't like the Young Bucks everywhere were going on like, I absolutely lost it when Kyle started shouting Marty during the finger gimmick from Pete Dunne.
Oh my God, that's hilarious.
It was so good. I heard that and I just instantly cracked up. It was so good.
Yeah. But overall, this match was great, and it was punctuated by Ricochet. And I'm gonna let you take this because I want you to explain what happened here by discussing what Will Ospreay had to say about it.
Well, I'll first say that before I say that, I'll say Ricochet tweeted the same clip saying, yeah, I don't know why I did that. I'm stupid. But yeah, Will Ospreay tweeted out the clip and he goes, I was watching my TV and I saw him standing at the top of the cage. And I said, to my screen, do a double moon, you puss. And then he turned around
and then proceeded to do a double moon.
Yeah. It was so good.
I've seen people... I'm pretty sure I've seen people attempt double moons before and not go well. And this is the first time I've actually seen somebody pull off a double moon like that. For the most part, I mean, Ricochet kind of overshot it a little bit. Yeah. It was still insane that he actually got both rotations in and had the balls to give it a shot.
And a lot of people are pointing out that this is the first time a double moon has ever been performed on any form of WWE television.
Yes. Just insane. Yeah. And then I liked how it was eventually Adam Cole who took the pin.
Yeah.
For Undisputed Era after taking
a bitter end
into a 450 or a 630.
Yeah.
Into a 630, which can't blame him for going down after being pinned immediately following. And he got pinned by both Ricochet and Pete Dunne at the same time after taking both of their finishers.
Yep. And I do want to point out quickly that does this technically mean that Undisputed Era as a whole is technically 1-2 at WarGames?
No, they're 0-2 because Roddy technically wasn't a member of Undisputed Era and representing Undisputed Era. Oh no, wait, you're right. Wait,
Because Roddy was
so
in
they're
the last
1-1.
WarGames
They're
match.
1-1. They're 1-1 then because
But,
Roddy wasn't officially part of Undisputed Era
I know,
then.
but
Don't
I'm
try and
saying,
twist it.
I'm
They're
saying
1-1.
jokingly as a whole, they could be like, yeah, we won WarGames and we lost one. And Roddy's like, I lost two. I thought it was supposed to be different with you guys. Come on.
Hey, still got that tag championship
For now.
for now.
Until Bobby's like, hey, I want it. It's mine. Give it back.
I wouldn't be surprised if Bobby goes for the North American Championship on Ricochet eventually.
I could see that.
And Adam Cole eventually goes for the NXT Championship. Unless they want to give the tag title to Bobby and then Roddy goes for the North American Championship.
True.
But I mean, every single member of this stable has been an ROH champion, so they can hold their own.
Yeah. They're all really good.
Mm-hmm. Oh, it makes me excited to see these guys get called up to the main roster, but at the same time kind of like horrified that like they might not be as successful, or they might not all call them up as Undisputed Era, or Undisputed might not be might not be a thing on the main roster.
Well, here's one reason why I think that Undisputed Era might be a thing, which is something that someone that I follow on Twitter, who's a part of a actual play podcast, pointed out, because he was at TakeOver WarGames, and he said, I think this is the first time I've ever seen at any kind of wrestling show like a TakeOver or anything there'd be more Undisputed Era shirts than Bullet Club shirts in the crowd. I think things are starting to change.
Yeah.
So Undisputed Era is over like crazy, to the point where, at least at these shows and stuff, they're more popular than the Bullet Club in general, which is what most people wear to these kinds of shows.
Yeah.
So I think that with how they've been treated in NXT and everything, if they don't bring them up as Undisputed Era and let them be themselves on the main roster, they're making a huge mistake.
Yeah. Oh man, I really hope they keep together, because I think these four guys might be the best stable, definitely since the Shield.
Yeah.
But might even eventually, if time is good to all of them and they stay together as a foursome, and they might be like as good as like maybe the original NWO, the original DX, or the original Four Horsemen. Yeah. I mean, time will tell. We'll have to see. But like, I feel like the future is bright for Undisputed Era, and I want to see these guys together for a long time, and I want to see them invade the main roster and have a ton of success in the main roster. I was
just going to say, you want us to know how I want to see them show up on the main roster?
What's that?
The same way the Nexus showed up. They just, in the middle of a big main event match, they just show up and destroy everyone.
Start beating down everyone?
Yeah, just beat everyone up and then just stand there like, what are you guys going to do?
This won't happen, so don't at me. But I'm just fantasy booking for fun because the thought popped into my head. And I thought it would be amazing, even though it wouldn't happen in a million years. What if WrestleMania comes around, Braun Strowman versus Brock Lesnar, Brock retains, or I guess it doesn't matter what happens, and then Undisputed Era shows up and just beats down both of them?
I'll do you one better. That is even less likely to happen. They go and do exactly that, and then Matt Riddle comes out and attacks Brock Lesnar and is like, I'm going to retire you.
Yeah, that's not going to happen.
Yeah, that's never going to happen.
And then he magically pulls out a Money in the Bank briefcase from nowhere, from his magical unicorn pal.
And then he opens it up and it says, see, cash in for one career opportunity.
Bro.
It specifically says bro. It's italicized and underlined, bro. So you know it's serious.
Bro. Okay, so I think that's it for WarGames. Thoughts on the show as a whole before we move on to Survivor Series?
Better than Survivor Series.
Yes, it was better than
Survivor Series wasn't bad.
But Survivor Series was really good too.
Survivor Series was really good, but WarGames was better than Survivor Series.
WarGames was incredible.
But that's how it usually seems to be with TakeOver and whatever pay-per-views the day after.
I mean, WarGames is incredible. NXT, especially takeovers, they've been every single one. Like we mentioned when we started talking about this, every single takeover seems like it's the best takeover.
Yep.
And it just like, man, like I think we've had maybe one or two meh takeovers.
Yeah, and that was like earlier on too.
Well, I think there was one this year or last year that ended up being kind of meh.
But it was still pretty damn good.
Yeah. Definitely better than what was.
Yeah, I remember that because we were talking about, and it was a matter of, well, it wasn't as good as the last TakeOver, but it was still pretty damn good.
Yes. Just yeah. I love the fact. I also love the fact again that they're taking WCW concepts and inserting them into
good ways,
into NXT, into good ways, and well, not all good ways. I mean, look at Starrcade.
Well, that's not NXT as well.
Well, yeah, that's true. And using them in great ways, like you said, like having WarGames being an actual event again is amazing.
Mm-hmm.
I actually wouldn't mind if instead of using Starrcade as like a glorified house show in North Carolina, you actually make Starrcade the WrestleMania
of NXT.
Of NXT.
I wouldn't
like
complain.
You have WrestleMania on the Sunday. And then instead of having NXT, you could still have a NXT TakeOver : Starrcade, but just have that TakeOver before WrestleMania instead of being called NXT TakeOver wherever the location of WrestleMania is. Call it Starrcade.
I agree.
Or if you want to keep honoring the Carolina roots and honoring Dusty, have the TakeOver. Have like a TakeOver that you want to be your WrestleMania. It doesn't have to be the WrestleMania weekend. Just call it Starrcade.
Yeah, exactly.
Maybe it's maybe have it be the one before SummerSlam or the one that you have in May or
like
something
how
like that.
they did with they were treating it that way somewhat with TakeOver Brooklyn.
Yeah.
Have that one be TakeOver Starrcade.
Something like that. Yeah. I think it would be awesome to see that happen. And just make NXT almost like a spiritual successor to WCW, kind of,
but better.
Yeah,
without Eric Bischoff.
Bischoff was good for a while. It was when he got together with Russo, and the two of them together kind of bungled things.
He lost it a little bit before Russo. They brought Russo in to try and help things, and he just was like,
Russo just
sure, I'll bring gasoline to this fire.
What's that? Did you say Judy Bagwell on a forklift match?
Viagra on a pole match? Sign me up.
All right. All right. Let's move on to Survivor Series then.
All right. First match.
Survivor Series was good, right?
It was good, and the first match was one of my favorite matches. Well, not necessarily one of my favorite matches, but a really good match.
The first match, I don't know what you're talking about. The first match didn't happen according to the actual.
Yeah, I know that's so
according
dumb.
to the official scorekeeping.
I agree
it didn't
with
happen.
Austin Creed on this, which is that it should have counted.
AKA Xavier Woods.
Yes. But the 10-on-10 tag team traditional Survivor Series elimination match where it's tag teams, and if one member gets eliminated, they're both eliminated.
Yeah.
And as I said to you, since I just finished watching this match right before we started recording, as I said, hey, WWE, going into this show, you should have had the Revival as your Raw tag team champions and the Usos as your SmackDown tag team champions, and have that be your tag champs versus tag champs match. Because them at the end of this match, you even said the end of this match that had them in it was absolutely amazing.
Oh, it was really good, and it was better than what we got out of AOP and the Bar later on in the night. But that was more of a booking thing rather than the ability of the wrestlers.
I mean, the Bar is really good. AOP is pretty good too. It's just, I mean, they don't put on the same kind of matches that you'd get out of teams like the Usos and stuff.
So this match, I liked it. I thought it was great once it got down towards the end. The positives I had for it was, in addition to the Revival getting a chance to shine finally, being the final team to represent Raw, and having a really great repertoire and interactions with the New Day and the Usos, which, by the way,
that Shatter Machine.
Yeah, Austin / Xavier is the man for taking that Shatter Machine. Yeah, that was an insane Shatter Machine. Austin, by the way, that's also another positive. He was awesome in this match.
Oh, yeah, he was.
He was one of the bright spots of this match. Really, really goddamn good. The New Day looked great. The Usos looked great, as usual. I mean, those guys always look great when they're in tag matches. The Revival looked great. The Ascension actually looked pretty good in this match.
Yeah, they didn't look bad.
It seems like they're very slowly, finally starting to do something with the Ascension, and maybe we actually might see the Ascension be what they should have been when they first came to the main roster, because they are a good team, and they were great in NXT.
Yeah.
The
Rude and
negatives,
Gable were good too.
Rude and Gable were good. The negatives, the clones were treated like the clones.
Yeah.
Sanity was treated like the clones.
Yeah. Like, as soon as they were eliminated, I was like, you should not be treating Killian Dane and not Alexander Wolf, Eric Young that way. And then I also realized, holy crap, I'm watching Eric Young fighting Bobby Roode in a WWE ring right now.
Right. Gallows and Anderson did okay, but I don't feel like they shined especially bright.
Well, I mean, Carl Anderson did have those couple of really good spine busters in that match.
That is true. Those were freaking beautiful.
Mm-hmm.
And the Lucha House Party was
Lucha House Party.
Lucha House Party. They were kind of all right. Wasn't anything too great. The match overall was good though. Big Stupid, by the way, says don't worry about the match because the Revival still sucks. Nothing's changed.
Well, one thing I want to point out, ignoring that blatant piece of lies.
For his advocate, he really doesn't help you in advocating for the Revival.
I know. I mean, come on. The Revival are the best tag team on Raw. I'm not going to say in WWE, but on Raw, because I think the Usos may have their number in WWE as a whole.
Mm-hmm.
But there was something with that match that I wanted to point out that I'm now blanking on because you scrolled away from the graphic and I forgot who I was going to talk about.
Sorry.
It's okay. God, this is going to bother me. One thing that bothered me with the match was the whole thing they did with the Lucha House Party of, Kalisto's injured, so we just swap out mid-match? Yeah, sure, why not? Like, I like Grand Metalik and everything, but it's just like, no. No.
Yeah, that was kind of really weird, because it's like at the same time, can like, it was Kofi who was on the outside for New Day, so it was like, could Kofi come in? Or could Alexander Wolf come in for Killian Dane or Eric Young?
Yeah. And another thing,
which I think Corey Graves did bring that up during the commentary.
Yeah. One other thing I'll point out is, hey, Raw, is your tag team division so lacking that you had to pull in 3 guys from 205 Live to help fill it out?
The answer is yes.
I mean, come on. Like, SmackDown, we're looking at the graphic right now. SmackDown, you've got
Lucha House Party is actually becoming, it looks like they're moving over to Raw. And because they've been showing up on Raw the last few weeks, and they've been having a rivalry with the Revival.
Yeah, but since this has happened, since Survivor Series
No, they were on Raw for a week or two before Survivor Series.
All right, so since immediately before Survivor Series to legitimize them being on Raw's team at Survivor Series. Because, I mean, look at the other side. You've got Sanity, you've got Gallows and Anderson, you've got the Usos. They're good, but I mean, I'm just pointing out the fact of that's how lacking the Raw tag team division has been. I mean, you've got Gable and Rude, in which they had separated Gable from his tag partner because they were trying to build their singles careers, and now they threw them together and eliminating their singles careers for now to make them a tag team. You've got the Ascension, who they only use every now and then and barely at all, and most of the time, unfortunately, are treated as jobbers. When on the other side, you've got all these teams that are legitimate tag teams that are legitimate former tag team champions that are wrestling together. And it's just, I don't know, it feels like with Raw, they were kind of slacking in the tag team division.
You mean lacking, not slacking?
Yeah, lacking. Yeah. And they kind of realized, well, we need more tag teams in order to fill out this match.
Yeah, it's fine. Just bring Undisputed Era up and put them on Raw.
Do that, and then, I don't know. Bring up the Mighty or the Street Profits or something like. Well, Street Profits
still need some time down there. I think they need a good rivalry or two in NXT.
They also need to lose the Evolve Tag Team Championships before they move up to the main roster.
That too.
Which I find that crazy is that there are 3 members of WWE NXT that are champions in Evolve right now.
Yeah, that's because Evolve is technically like a WWE affiliate now.
Yeah, but I just find that crazy.
Anyway, before we get too far away from it. I still enjoyed this match.
Oh yeah, it was really good.
It is interesting with Lucha House Party though that they're introducing. Big Stupid brought it up in the chat that now they're doing on Raw these Lucha House rules with the Lucha House Party where they're basically 3-on-2 handicap matches and it follows Lucha rules. So as long as you roll out of the ring, anybody else from the match can jump in as if it was a tag.
Well,
which is kind of dumb. But maybe if like the Revival gets a third person, they do Lucha House Rules. Like maybe they face a 3-person team, which none of them exist on Raw right now. Then maybe it would be a 3-on-3 match under Lucha House Rules.
I was just gonna say I have the perfect man for the job to come over and help the Revival beat Lucha House Party.
Who?
The man in which one of his many sayings is feet on the ground, safe and sound.
I don't follow.
It's part of a multi-point PowerPoint presentation to improve 205 Live for a better 205 Live.
Drew Gulak?
Yes. I think Drew Gulak with his style would work really well with the Revival, especially going up against the Lucha House Party.
It would be interesting.
He already had a hell of a rivalry. Guys. He had a hell of a rivalry with Lucha House Party on 205 Live, so I think it would work.
Okay, and now we're back.
Hooray.
Sorry about that, everybody. If you're listening, hopefully maybe I'll be able to just clip it back and bring it back. But yeah, sometimes Audition just likes to go out.
Yeah, it happens.
On me. It's happened a couple times to me in the live streams. It hasn't happened to me in a podcast in a long time though. But anyway, like we were saying, I believe we were moving on to the 5-on-5 Women's Traditional Survivor Series tag team match.
Mm-hmm.
And as I was mentioning, there were some promos earlier on in the show, which was a little interesting, weird. Apparently, Natty and Ruby Riott had a confrontation and beat each other up off camera, and so they were replaced by Sasha Banks and Bayley.
Mm-hmm.
And then Mandy Rose ended up being the final fill-in for the SmackDown Women's team, not Nikki Cross, as a lot of people, such as myself, were hoping.
Yeah, that would have been nice.
Mandy Rose did okay, and so did Sonya Deville. I thought this was a good match.
That knee by Mandy Rose was so good.
Which knee?
The one that basically looked like a V trigger.
The one that basically looked like a V trigger?
Yeah, I forget who it was, but someone was coming down off the top rope or whatever, and she just nailed them right in the face with the knee. And I was like, oh, damn.
Uh-huh. You were like, what now?
Oh, damn.
Oh, damn?
Oh, damn.
Oh, yeah?
Damn!
Okay.
Did I pop that enough for you?
No. Well, the funny thing is that on Audition, I just accidentally tried to use a mouse wheel to scroll into the thing, but instead I scrolled on here, and now okay, there we go. And now it's better.
I think my favorite part of the match as a whole was Asuka. She killed it in that match, and that made me excited of the prospect of they're apparently looking to do, what is it? The next match title defense they're doing is Becky Lynch versus Charlotte versus Asuka in a triple threat match.
Yes, at TLC, in the first ever women's TLC match.
Yeah, and I'm very excited for that because Asuka, them letting her be the way she was again and just absolutely killing people in this match. I'm very excited for it.
Yes.
And also, I forget, did Carmella get one of her little dance breaks in?
Yes, she did.
Okay. Which
was good. And it was a good dance break.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I enjoyed this match. A lot of people were like, I don't understand why Nia turned on I believe it was Sasha Banks at the end.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
It's simple. It's because they were trying to just build her up as a heel and get more heat on her.
Yeah, and it was because of the fact that she wanted to get the match over with, so she just got rid of Sasha so that way she could get in and deal with it and end the match.
Which she did.
Which she did very promptly after that, yeah.
Though I will say Sasha and Asuka did have a nice, awesome sequence before that got broken up by Nia.
Yeah.
So I'd love to see a future Sasha Banks Asuka match. down the line, maybe for a championship, hopefully.
Yeah.
But yeah, this match was good. Carmella got her dance break in. Mandy Rose and Sonya Deville finally had like a moment to shine, which they really haven't. They've kind of just been lost in the shuffle.
Yeah, I mean, they've been involved in a lot of random stuff, like they were in the women's elimination chamber match and stuff. But other than that, it's just been like, filler, here you go.
Yeah.
But one thing I'm noticing that I want to point out is a lot of these women in this match, they've been forming tag teams. And there are a lot of women tag teams, which is getting closer and closer to what Stephanie was saying of, hey, maybe we will have a women's tag team title.
I hope so.
Because, I mean, you got the Boston Hug connection. You've got Sonya Deville and Mandy Rose. You've got Asuka and Naomi. You've got Nia Jax and Tamina are teaming up with each other.
Yeah.
You've kind of sort of, whenever she comes back to doing it, Alexa Bliss and Mickie James were doing stuff together. Quiet, Echo.
You shut your mouth, Echo.
Sorry, I'm not sure.
Why'd you have to say that name? Every episode it happens too.
You're welcome.
All right. Anyway.
Yep. But yeah, then after that, they had the Intercontinental versus United States Champion matchup of Seth Rollins versus Shinsuke Nakamura.
Possibly the match of the night.
I have one negative comment about this match. Only one.
Actually, I was just going to say possibly the match of the night, and then I just remembered what the actual match of the night was.
Well,
that was a strong number 2.
It was a very good match, but
maybe even a number 3, actually. There's another match I just thought of.
I have one very big negative about this match, though.
What? That Nakamura lost?
That Nakamura was wearing that ridiculous-looking outfit.
But it was blue, because SmackDown.
He's never wrestled with a weird-ass shirt like that before, with another shirt on top of it.
I didn't mind it. I was like,
it
whatever.
just was throwing me off so much. I was like, why? Who made you do this?
But this match was
match was
good,
really good,
and I want to see Rollins versus Nakamura again. I want to
see Rollins versus a lot of people.
And I loved. It kind of sucked that Rollins kicked out of a Kinshasa to the back of the head.
Yeah, that bothered me a lot. I was saying that should have been that should have been the end of the match right there.
But I mean, it's Seth Rollins. He's the Kingslayer. He's done a lot more in
not
WWE.
Anymore, he's not.
Shut. Shh. He's been WWE was it Undisputed or Unified? What was the name of the championship?
They were
WWE World Heavyweight Champion.
Yeah.
He was before they split the championships up again. And Nakamura has won the NXT Championship twice and the US Championship. He's failed to capture the big one so far. So, from a storyline standpoint, I guess it makes sense that Rollins would be able to kick out of his finisher like that. But I did like that the way the match ended.
Yeah.
That basically Nakamura missed once, and then Rollins was just smart enough to be able to capitalize lightning quick on Nakamura and hit the stomp out of nowhere almost and get the pin.
And that was good. I still think it could have ended literally maybe a minute earlier with the whole Kinshasa to the back of the head. I think that's how it should have ended personally, just because of the idea of Raw and SmackDown being more even.
I feel like based on the history of these guys' careers in WWE, from a kayfabe standpoint, I think kayfabe, if it was going to be a clean finish, Rollins had to win. That's why when I picked Nakamura to win, it was because I thought Dean Ambrose was going to get involved.
I did too,
and he didn't.
But yeah.
So, but anyway, this match was great. I definitely recommend. This is one of the 3 matches where if you guys were like, I didn't watch Survivor Series, could you recommend which matches like for me to pick and choose to watch? I would probably say, you should watch all but the tag team versus tag team match of the champions, the tag champion, all but the tag champ match. But if I had to single out 3, this would be one of them. Single out individual matches, this would definitely be one of them. I'd be like, make sure you watch this match. It was good.
Yeah,
it will make you want to see another match between Nakamura and Rollins. Very much so. Next match after that was the
Pee Pants match.
Yeah, the what the hell are you doing with Drake Maverick match. I still can't get over the fact they're trying to make him out to be this fair and balanced and like even calm general manager on 205 Live when he's pissing his pants and shouting at the top of his lungs for Authors of Pain, and also, I don't know if you saw Raw this week, peeing on Bobby Roode's robes.
Yeah. I didn't see Raw, but I saw that clip.
I just, like, the whole lack of consistency in the Drake Maverick character, just because he's on two different shows, just...
Yeah, it's ridiculous.
Yeah, just bothers me. And just the peeing his pants thing.
That was much. That was way too much. Like, Big Show was even like, I can't do this.
Yeah. Like, really? Drake Maverick? Because this was something out of, like, the Attitude Era or earlier.
Yeah.
Like, this had to be a Vince idea, I feel like, because it's
if
like...
I had to piss my pants because Austin held a fake gun to my head, then damn it, Drake Maverick is going to piss his pants because he's surrounded by big men.
Yeah. Like, Drake Maverick is a wrestler. Like, he used to wrestle. He used to compete.
Mm-hmm.
And, like, he hasn't been conceived as this. And even if you are going to, like, make him, like, a cowardly manager, like, don't make him pee his pants. This dude's a general manager on one of your shows.
Yeah, exactly. It's ridiculous.
And you want, like, people to perceive his character with respect when they watch 205 Live, and you're going to have him, and you're going to make him act like a guy who's regal or fair and deserves respect when you have him pissing his pants on a pay-per-view.
Exactly. I think we spent enough time on this.
Yeah. Not a good match.
No.
I was disappointed. I was really hoping
This is going
to be entertaining.
Better than that, but...
And AOP actually won this match, though, based on the distraction from Drake Maverick. So take that as you will. Big win, I guess, for the Authors of Pain. But, yikes. Not good. Not great, Bob. Not great.
Yeah.
But we have 3 other great matches to go over.
Mm-hmm.
I'll let you take this because you love these guys.
This was the first match I watched on the show. I was like, I don't know if I'm going to get to be able to watch all of Survivor Series, so I'm going to make sure I watch this match. And that was the Cruiserweight Championship match between the current champion, Buddy Murphy, defending against Mustafa Ali. These guys have killed it several times on 205 Live, and I'm very glad that they got a chance to show what 205 Live in general can do on the main card of Survivor Series, and this match did not disappoint. There's only 2 moves in this match I was looking for that I didn't get to see that they normally do, but that's fine because this match absolutely killed it.
Mm-hmm.
Oh my god, Buddy Murphy is so good. So is Mustafa Ali. It's ridiculous.
I was thoroughly entertained by that match, and thoroughly entertained by Buddy Murphy as a whole. I really hope that they do things with him after what am I thinking of?
I don't know. What are you thinking of?
After he has his run with the Cruiserweight Championship. I don't know why. My mind just blanked out there for a little bit. Okay. But anyway, yeah.
You know what my out there ideal scenario is that I doubt is going to happen?
What?
That after Buddy Murphy loses the Cruiserweight Championship, that he'll go and start building back up, since the storyline for a while was he had to drop down to 205 to get on the show and everything.
Yeah.
And that he'll start beefing back up and then move to like Raw or SmackDown and team up with the Mighty and become a good 3-man faction. That's something I would like to see, personally.
Yeah.
Maybe he could team up with them and the Iconics, and they could be like, Australia's the best. And I'll be like, you're right.
Yeah.
But yeah, that match was really good.
That would be actually really pretty cool.
Yeah.
An all Aussie faction. They can get maybe the Iconics to join them.
Yeah, that's what I literally just said. Yeah.
Okay, I wasn't. I heard you say the Mighty. I didn't hear you say the Iconics.
Yeah. But yeah, I could see. I could see that working really well. But I mean, the match between him and Mustafa Ali was really good. I loved that C4 off the table.
Mm-hmm. All right, we're gonna have to. I know we want to talk in length about this, but we still have the Game Awards to go through. We're definitely not getting to the news this week.
Yes,
we got to get through the rest of this show so we can get to the Game Awards predictions.
So in short, watch that match. It was really good.
Yeah. Next match, the 5-on-5 Men's Survivor Series elimination match. Remember how I said we still had 3 great matches left to go? We have 1 match to go.
Mm-hmm.
This match was okay.
It had some good moments.
It was good. I liked how everybody beat up on Braun Strowman to isolate him, to make it look like they have a chance.
I liked how Braun Strowman then killed Shane O'Mac midair.
Mm-hmm. That was great. The coast to coast before that was awesome.
Mm-hmm. The whole thing between Miz and Shane of like, you could do it, and Shane be like, okay, all right, let's do this. That was pretty good.
Mm-hmm. However, I did not like the fact that Samoa Joe was taken out so quick. I knew that was meant as an impact to A, build up Drew McIntyre, and B, like make SmackDown be like, oh crap, like our big heavy hitter who's gonna be able to stand up to Braun Strowman just got taken out. But like at the same time, I'm like, oh
yeah, I did not like that. I did not like the fact that the first 2 eliminations in the match were Samoa Joe, who has been wrestling your top guys for a very long time and wrestled for the WWE title several times, gets eliminated first and very quickly, and then the next guy eliminated in the match is your first Universal Champion.
Yeah.
I did not like that.
I guess. But
yeah.
I
did like Braun Strowman coming in at the end, just being like, "I'm just gonna kill you all now. You're gonna literally die at my hands."
That I would have maybe been okay with because of just how dominant Strowman was, but at this point, Raw had such a dominant lead on like the Raw versus SmackDown thing that it just almost felt like every single power slam from Braun Strowman wasn't sending the message to me of look at how dominant Braun Strowman is. It was more of like look at how superior Raw is to SmackDown.
To me, it was more of look at how dominant Braun Strowman is, because up until then, it was basically a Raw versus SmackDown match, and then Braun Strowman got in and was like, screw this, I'm dealing with this, and it was Braun Strowman just going through and running through everyone.
I guess. But he took out everyone so quickly, one after another.
To be fair, he was kind of sitting there for most of the match, and then this was the end of the match, and he was already tired and fighting a lot, and he had not legally been in the match yet.
I guess it's okay. I don't know.
Not saying it was great, but I liked Braun Strowman in the match.
Yeah. Big Stupid also mentions to not forget that Joe is still hurt. So that's probably why he was taken out early, and that also lessens the blow. That's also true.
Yeah, but you could have at least done something like have Ziggler start the match or something like that, or Finn Balor or something, and while there's arguing or whatever, have Joe go and grab him a coquina clutch, get him out quickly, and then as soon as he turns around, get hit by Drew McIntyre and get pinned by Drew McIntyre. And then you have 2 quick eliminations.
Or have Joe like fight, like maybe he was the first one eliminated, but have him fight Drew for a little while before he gets taken out.
Yeah. Or have him get in the match
very
later
much at the
on.
beginning. Like, didn't like the bell ring and then it was Claymore kick pin?
No, it was the bell rang and McIntyre and Strowman were arguing, and Samoa Joe came up, tried to lock in the coquina clutch, and then McIntyre went to get out of it, so Joe got it back in again, and then McIntyre flipped him over him and then hit the Claymore and pinned him. So he was in the match for like maybe a minute tops.
Yeah. I mean, if Joe's injured and like he really can't do much right now, if his injury is that bad, then yeah, I guess this was a smart use of Joe making sure he's on the pay-per-view. So, I mean, I guess it depends on like what the extent of Joe's injury is.
Yeah.
But, yeah, that was just one of the gripes I had with it. It was still overall a good match.
Yeah, it was good. Not great, but good.
Yeah. So, but not as good as the final 2 matches tonight.
Mm-hmm.
I think, as much as I loved the main event, I think this match here was the match of the night. Ronda Rousey versus Charlotte Flair.
This match was real good.
It was so good. I was worried with all the hype that was built up with Becky and the fact that like Charlotte's character hasn't really been, I guess resonating maybe is the right word to say with a lot of people.
Mm-hmm.
That like I felt like this match didn't have the hype it should, and as a result, it might result in the match not being as good as it could have been. But that was dashed completely.
Yeah.
Because these 2 ladies went at it. They pulled out all the stops. I loved the story that they were telling that like just no matter what Charlotte was doing, it couldn't keep Ronda down, and she was doing everything she could to survive Ronda, keep herself from getting into the arm bars, escaping, getting to the ropes.
Yeah. It was showing her
revert-
technical prowess to be able to keep up with and potentially beat Ronda.
Yeah.
With Ronda's determination to not stay down.
Mm-hmm. And then just basically Charlotte reaching this point where she felt DMurph looks blown up like he needs a little bit of a break.
I am very tired.
Been a while. It's been a while since you've done one of these podcasts. So thank you for the 10-bit cheer, big stupid. And hey, hello to Laserscope in the chat. He says congrats on the reunion. He just came in. My favorite part though was what ended the match was when Charlotte realized I can't beat Ronda no matter what I do, and it's almost as if like her character reached a breaking point where like I couldn't beat Becky. I couldn't beat Ronda no matter what I do, no matter how hard I try. You know what? Screw it. And she has grabbed the kendo stick and oh my God, did she go to town on Ronda?
I would
that
say
kendo stick.
I don't know if it was so much I can't beat her as much as I'm sick of this kind of thing where I've done everything. I'm tired of this. I'm just going to beat the crap out of her. So that way she knows who I am and all that and just destroy her.
And like I was cringing and wincing with every single strike, like watching that kendo stick just come apart to where like all just the strands were just...
Yeah, it was good.
Props to Ronda for taking that beating.
And here's one thing I'm going to point out that makes me like this match much more. Charlotte not once used the figure 8. She got the figure 4, but never did the figure 8.
Into the figure 8.
Yeah.
Yep. Which was a good story to tell, and that's why that's why Ronda was able to win the match. Or
and if you ever want to do Charlotte versus Ronda again, there's something you could do.
Yep. You've got your story all set in. But she did, Charlotte did hit a natural selection or two from what I remember, and Ronda kicked out.
Yeah, she hit one natural selection in the match, and then she hit a natural selection onto a steel chair after the match.
Yeah.
One thing I will point out quickly is the way this match went, I feel like is how all of these freaking Brock Lesnar matches should have been going. Instead of it being like Brock Lesnar is so strong and someone's able to survive him, it should be, yeah, Brock Lesnar's a beast, but some of these other guys are good wrestlers too, and they actually somewhat stand a chance.
Well, that's kind of what happened at the end of the night.
Not for the beginning of the match.
That was the point of the beginning of the match. But we'll get into that later.
Yeah.
Let's talk about this match more.
But yeah, that's what I liked about this match is it was okay, you hype up Ronda a lot because she's from UFC and everything. And you've had a lot of these matches where a lot of it is, just some fighting and then Ronda locks in the armbar and then they tap out. And I liked this match because it was, okay, yeah, Ronda is a big badass. But guess what? She's not the only one in WWE. And there are people who are in WWE that have been here for a while and they are just as tough as Ronda. Mm-hmm. And that's what I liked about this match is the fact that, yeah, Ronda's big and she was big in another sport. But there are people here in WWE that are also really good too. And they showcase that.
Yeah. I just think this was just a match of two titans in the women's division.
Yeah, exactly.
And like this allowed the fans to completely turn and change their opinion on Charlotte. I think this is what I think when Becky originally turned on Charlotte, this is the character that fans wanted Charlotte to become as a result. Just the angry, just wanting to be like, all right, you're gonna do that to me. Then I'm instead of the Charlotte that we had for a while, where it was more like, how could you do this? How could you betray our friendship? And I think that's more of just a fact of like that's just a overused way to portray a babyface after a betrayal like that.
Yeah.
And this edge just. It not only elevates Charlotte, but it also elevates her rivalry with Becky Lynch and what she can do on SmackDown Live.
Yeah, exactly.
And it makes people really want to die for a rematch between these two.
Yeah.
But so props to Charlotte, props to Ronda. She continues to put on great performance after great performance in her first year.
Yeah.
On the main roster. She didn't even have to go through NXT. She went straight to the main roster and she has thrived.
Yeah.
As far as her in-ring work is concerned. And she absolutely killed it with Charlotte. I can't wait to see a rematch. I really want to see her wrestle Becky. And she is the man. I know Becky Lynch is the man, but she is the man when it comes to like just manning or womaning, however you want to say it, up and taking those kendo stick shots.
Yeah.
And suffering all those welts.
Yeah.
Because that was brutal. And the only negative I have to say about this match was the fact the crowd booed Ronda Rousey after the match.
Yeah.
That was not cool by the crowd.
Which one thing I will point out is I didn't really notice that because of the fact that most of the matches I got to watch, it was either very low volume or no volume.
Yeah. Well, after the match, when Ronda was like getting up from her beating and walking to the back, the crowd booed her.
That's dumb.
Which I understand everybody wanted Ronda versus Becky and everybody loved that Charlotte turned, but it's like
you don't have to.
Ronda also had a really good, really amazing in the match and took a beating with those welts. That is not the reaction she should have gotten, in my opinion.
Yeah.
So, all right, let's move on to the main event of the show. Then we're gonna go ahead and we're gonna do Game Awards predictions, and then we're gonna cut the show because we're already getting close to like what we said we should stop recording by, and we're obviously gonna go over. So. I'll let you, well, actually, before we get into it, let me see what Big Stupid said here. He said, see, this worries me. So they stole how they got Becky to be the man, gave it to Charlotte. Now, it wouldn't surprise me if they go back to Charlotte versus Rousey and leave Becky behind. I don't know if I'd go that far.
Yeah, see, here's the reason I don't think you have to worry about that. One, she kind of gave it to Charlotte, but Becky is still the man. Have you seen her game on Twitter?
And her promos on SmackDown.
Yeah, Charlotte was kind of given this character. Becky is the man. She is. And guess what? They're probably going to want to have a little bit of a mix-up between Becky and all that instead of having Ronda and Charlotte again, especially since so many people were clamoring for Becky versus Ronda, especially after what she did to Ronda on Raw.
And I think this is a great turn for Charlotte. Yes, it's similar to what happened with Becky, but I think this attitude and this gimmick works for Charlotte as well. But I think Becky is the best at it.
Yeah.
And we haven't gotten that match of Becky versus Ronda. And after what happened, we are definitely going to get Becky versus Ronda.
We better.
I think that's going to be the WrestleMania main event. Who knows? Maybe they still want Charlotte involved, so maybe it'll be a triple threat match. But you know what? As long as Becky is in there and gets her match with Ronda,
yeah.
Like, I don't think you got to worry. I think the WWE knows what they've got with Becky. I don't think they're going to try and be like, oh, you guys like this? Well, we've developed this shiny toy. Play with this shiny toy instead. Like, no.
Yeah.
And, like, also, like, I know that this is more about Becky getting what she deserves, but Charlotte's also really, really good. Let's not forget about the fact that Charlotte's really, really good.
Mm-hmm. And we've also eventually got Shayna Baszler to come up and get in this mix, too. So you don't have to worry. There's going to be plenty of different matches and ways for all these different people to be involved because you know they're going to do 4 horsewomen fighting other 4 horsewomen for a long time. So you know you're going to see these gals cross paths again.
Yeah. Big Stupid says it just kind of reminds me when Brett turned heel. Then a couple weeks later they turned HBK heel and left Brett behind. Well, I'm pretty sure if I recall correctly, that was during the year of 1996. And the situation was different because at that point in time, Bret Hart turned heel on the double turn with Austin at WrestleMania 13, which was the last WrestleMania that Bret would take part in before he left for WCW. And at that point in time, like, Bret's contract situation was unsure.
Yeah.
Like, they didn't know. And Bret still had the championship on him afterwards.
Mm-hmm.
And Bret still ended up with the championship going into Survivor Series and had the Montreal screw job. So I don't know. It's kind of a different situation, and I don't even know if Bret really got forgotten about.
Yeah.
Unless Big Stupid's referring to a time before 1996. But I mean, I still think Bret still eventually got his just desserts and got his great matches, and still And I don't mean just desserts as in getting screwed over at Survivor Series. I mean, he still had his championship reigns, his title matches. He's still regarded as a legend, one of the greatest of all time. So, like, I don't think we need to really jump the shark on this whole, WWE is purposely turning Charlotte like this so they could push Becky back down. Let's let things develop, and Becky's on a roll.
Let Becky be Becky.
Yeah.
Stone Cold Steve Austin approves of Becky being Becky, so let's let Becky be Becky.
Yes. All right. You want to talk about this main event?
Yeah, I didn't like the beginning of it.
I did.
Let me rephrase that. I liked like the first minute or two of it, and then I didn't like it for a while, and then I liked it again, and then I more didn't like the crowd's reaction at the very end of the match. How's that?
So wait, say that again. You say you didn't like the crowd reaction at the end of the match.
Yeah, I liked Daniel Bryan doing the whole going outside of the ring and all that. I didn't like what seemed like 10 minutes straight of Brock Lesnar just toying with Daniel Bryan.
Well,
but then I liked when it got to the point of Daniel Bryan starting to get an edge and them actually going at it back and forth.
That was the point of the match, though. It was supposed to be like, it was almost like Bryan, and Bryan said this in a promo afterwards. He kind of said in the promo afterwards that he let Brock Lesnar do that to him. So that way Brock Lesnar could beat the old Daniel Bryan out of him and allow this new Daniel Bryan that started to emerge when he beat AJ Styles for the new title, for the WWE title, to fully take over. So, like, makes sense there. And also, like, it was basically like Bryan kind of trying to, like, rope-a-dope and let Lesnar almost kind of wear himself out by just trying to destroy Bryan, and Bryan seeing if he can endure it and deal with it.
I would be okay with it if it didn't last for so long.
I will admit, like
that's
when I first started
so
watching it, I felt the same way as you, because I was like, oh god, they're gonna bury Daniel Bryan. This is like not the match we were hoping for. This is just a traditional Brock Lesnar match. But I think the fact that they turned it around, they had Daniel Bryan turn it around and then start going to town on Brock, and then them being back and forth, and Bryan coming this close on multiple occasions to actually beating Brock, completely like changed like how I perceived and looked at the beginning of the match.
Let me say it this way. I'm not saying that it made the match bad. I'm saying I didn't like that part of the match because during that part of the match, it went on for so long that I was bored.
Okay.
And that's what I didn't like about it.
Okay,
it was just, okay, another suplex from Brock. Oh, hey, look, another suplex from Brock. Oh, look, a different suplex from Brock. And then he's going to do that suplex several times. And then, look, he goes back to the first suplex. And it was just a matter of, okay, I've seen this several times. I'm bored. Give me something interesting. And then it got interesting.
I think that was
really started to like it.
That was kind of the point, because they wanted to lull you into this false sense of that this was just going to be another like suplex after suplex after suplex after suplex Brock Lesnar match.
I knew it was eventually going to get good. It's just I was sitting there like, okay, there's no way they're just going to, after the match that Brock Lesnar had with AJ Styles last year, they're not going to not give Daniel Bryan a similar treatment. And it was just a matter of, all right, now I have to sit here after watching a show that's been going on for how long. I have to sit here and wait for it to get interesting. And that's the part that bothered me. And after that, once Daniel Bryan hit the low blow and they were going back and forth and going at it, I loved the match from that point. It's just in that little gap. At first, I was like, okay, all right. So he hit a suplex, one German suplex. Maybe on the next one, Daniel's going to do a backflip out of it and they'll start wrestling. And then it just kept going on and on. I was like, okay, you can do this anytime. I've seen Brock do this several times. You could still have him dominate Daniel Bryan in the match and have Daniel Bryan get some offense. And then they eventually gave Daniel Bryan offense, and the match got good. It's just, I felt like I had to wait to get to the good part of the match.
I guess. I mean, I feel differently, but I guess I can understand where you're coming from.
Yeah. The match after that, it's just...
Yeah, and Big Stupid points out the way Brock sells is so underrated.
And that's one of the reasons I was getting annoyed, because Brock is great at selling.
Brock did sell like an absolute champ for Daniel Bryan in that match.
The way he took the first flying knee... That was insane.
Oh, yeah.
He almost did a fucking flip out of that. Brock is good at selling, which is part of the reason it bothered me so much, because he's good at it. You have him as a beast. Have him do some of his selling for people, and it will make him look that much better, because he's a beast that could take a lot of punishment that is severe punishment and still win. And I was just sitting there waiting for it.
And I did like at the very end of the match how Brock sold his way out of the ring and looked back on Daniel Bryan, and he didn't have so much that arrogant look of like, I just beat your ass. It looked more like he Yeah, you gave me a hell of a fight and I barely survived.
Can I just say that I imagined in my head, like I don't think this is actually said, but in my head with the way everything went, when Brock was getting out of the ring and by Paul Heyman and say something to Heyman, I could have sworn that it was something like, the fuck was that? Where did that come from?
Wow, 2 F-bombs in like a couple minutes. Thanks for the E rating.
You're welcome. You gotta earn it.
Thank you. I'm trying to wean us off of it, but okay.
No, but I just thought that was hilarious because it looked like Brock Lesnar just looked at Paul Heyman like it wasn't supposed to go like that. What the heck happened in there?
Yeah, that's true. And I did like the look at Daniel Bryan at the end of the match. It was like, I got beat, but I also kicked his ass.
Yeah, but it did bother me that it was 1, 2, 3, and then the crowd. Most of them were just standing there, not doing
it's
anything.
because the crowd wanted Bryan to win. As
I
much
know,
as everybody knew that Lesnar was going to win, everybody wanted Daniel Bryan to win.
When stuff like that's happened before, people would boo, but it's just a lot of people were just like, okay. And there was the one guy in which they focused on me and that was it. They just zoomed in on this one guy and he's just standing there like, and I guess at first they thought he looked shocked and then he just like that and then they cut away from him.
Yes. Stupid say you're right. I thought he said that little bleep.
Yeah.
That little MFer.
See? Yeah. Like he was like, that, what the hell was that? Like he looked like he was not expecting that. Yeah.
Like that guy just did that to me?
The guy that is one of the meals I eat on my farm. That guy. I eat more beef than him in a half hour.
Yeah. I eat cows that are larger than him.
I eat veal that's been larger than him.
Mm-hmm.
But yeah.
I thought it was a great match. I thought it lived up to the hype of what we wanted out of the Brock Lesnar Daniel Bryan match.
Like I said, I just wish the Brock doing that domination was like 5 minutes instead of 10, because you could still do a good amount in 5 minutes.
I guess so. So that is Survivor Series 2018. Final thoughts.
It was good. It was real good.
Yes. Real good.
Brock and Bryan killed it. Seth and Nakamura killed it. Charlotte and Ronda killed it. Buddy Murphy and Mustafa Ali killed it.
Yeah.
Others in Pain in the Bar.
Others in Pain in the Bar was
but
I
everything
agree.
else was at the very least good.
Yeah, the 3 Survivor Series matches were good.
Revival
and then
was good.
And then all of the champion versus champion quote unquote matches that wasn't the tag match were great.
Yeah.
Were awesome. Amazing.
And once again, I love that 205 Live got to shine on the main card of Survivor Series.
Yeah.
After being on the pre-show for a while, I'm glad that they got to be on the main show of one of the big 4.
Yeah. And oh god, I was gonna say something, but I totally just blanked out on it.
Solid.
I hate it when that happens.
Mm-hmm.
But yeah, overall, I think it was a really good show. Oh, that's what it was. The only negative that I would say is just the fact that like Raw had such a dominating record over SmackDown. Yeah, and it's like I really want to see them at least be even and it be close.
Yeah,
and maybe one year we can actually get SmackDown winning one of these kind of like Battle of the Brands things.
Even if you had it 4-2, it would have been better than 6-0.
Yeah, which was technically 6-1.
Yeah.
Big Stupid saying, final thoughts. I beat you on the predictions. You did not beat me on the predictions, not on the overall predictions. Big Stupid did beat me by 1, 7-6 in the Survivor Series predictions. So props to you for winning in the Survivor Series predictions. However, with the clean sweep of NXT TakeOver WarGames, I ended up winning the overall predictions with 10 total correct predictions. However, you had 11.
Hooray me.
But it's not written anywhere, so I'll just... No,
I can still retain it.
So how do we do this now? Are you still the champion, or should I enact the 30-day rule, which should be like the 90-day rule at this point, and just strip you, and now it's vacated?
I'm going to point out that
give it to
Brock
vacant.
Lesnar is one of the longest reigning champions in WWE history now, and he didn't have to abide by that.
Yeah, well, you know who did? Daniel Bryan.
Daniel Bryan had to abide by his doctors telling him your head's gonna die.
I'm talking about the first time he got hurt.
Yeah.
When the first time, not after, not when he was gone for years. I'm talking about after WrestleMania 30.
I know, but it was because he was hurt.
Yes, but the thing is that he was only gone for 30 days, and then they said, oh, if a champion doesn't defend their title, and after 30 days they have to vacate it.
So you want to be a McMahon is what you're saying.
No, what I am saying is that the McMahons blatantly ignored their own goddamn rule that they wrote down to ignore consistency by allowing Brock Lesnar to have the championship and being like, oh, he can compete every 3 months.
I'm just going to let you know I do follow a Twitter account called What 30-Day Rule, in which they do start posting when people have gone over 30 days. And Seth Rollins went a very long time without an Intercontinental title defense.
Well,
this includes house shows and stuff.
That's my point. It's like Daniel Bryan should not have had to vacate that championship. It's just my point.
Yeah, and look at Big Stupid.
As
As an advocate, I say you can't strip him. Where does it say he has to show up every 30 days?
I say it because this is my podcast. Mine. Advocate though you are. All right. So that's gonna do it for the wrestling. I guess as long as you stick around, TLC will be the first chance for you to defend the championship for the first time in 3 months. Our bit cheer from Big Stupid says, when you bring the money to the table, Murpho, DMurph will appear.
Mm-hmm. It's your fault for signing that limited deal contract.
Yeah. Shut up. Silence. Nonsense. All right. So we don't have time, unfortunately, to go over the happenings in the week or the wrestling news. Unfortunately, we're just going to go into video games, and we're going to do predictions now for the 2018 Game Awards, which will be happening this Wednesday. I believe it's December, let's see, today's the 1st, so it should be the 5th. Yes, the 5th. December 5th. It's happening at, I believe, 8:30 p.m. Eastern Time, 5:30 p.m. Pacific. And as you guys know, in the last episode, I read off all the nominees. What we're going to do here is we're going to go category to category. And if there's anything that we can give predictions on based on just our knowledge of the nominees, then we can. These are not our personal opinions or be-all, end-all opinions, because neither of us have really played these games. This is basically going to be based on what we know from talking to people who have played the games, from listening to podcasts, and people talk about playing the games and talking about nominees and stuff like that. So... we're just going to go over all that stuff. We'll start off. Do you remember the Game Awards last year? Watching it.
A little bit.
All right. So favorite moment of 2017 is their favorite moment from the 2017 Game Awards. There was Carol Shaw getting the Industry Icon Award, the Game Awards Orchestra Performance, Hideo Kojima and Guillermo del Toro coming out on stage together.
That gets my vote.
Joseph Ferris, A Way Out, the guy who said F the Oscars.
Yeah.
And Zelda Breath of the Wild winning Game of the Year. I got to go with Joseph Ferris and his rant. That was my favorite moment of the year, and that just the fact that I think it was the most memorable moment of the year.
It might be the most memorable, but my favorite personally was Kojima meeting Del Toro, because I'm a huge fan of both of them.
Not meeting Del Toro, being on stage.
Yeah,
with Del
but
Toro.
You know what I mean.
Yeah, they were working together for quite a while on that game with
PT
with Daryl, that where he's apparently some futuristic paranormal mailman type thing. We don't know what the hell Death Stranding is all about, but Guillermo del Toro and Hideo Kojima are working on that. Mm-hmm. Then after that, we've got Laser Scope. We will get to that confirmation. We'll talk about that stuff. We're going to talk about potential announcements for the Game Awards after we do our predictions. Then we're going to end the show. We've got Content Creator of the Year, Dr. Lupo, Myth, Ninja, Pokimane, and Willy Rex.
I'm going to say anyone but Ninja, just because I'm not a fan of Ninja.
But these are predictions, not opinions.
I know. My prediction is anyone but Ninja.
You're supposed to make the prediction based on who you think is going to end up winning. Do you even know who Pokimane is?
I've seen a little bit of Pokimane stuff. That's why I said it.
All right. I would love to see Dr. Lupo win it, because I love Dr. Lupo. He's one of my favorite streamers to watch. The guy is an awesome dude. He does quite a bit for charity. He loves interacting with his fans. He was originally a Destiny creator. and then became bigger on Fortnite by hanging out with Ninja. But I think hands down this is going to be Ninja.
I hope
this
not.
has been Ninja's year. Ninja exploded into one of the biggest gaming personas of all time over the last year. Ninja's winning this hands down. I would love to see Dr. Lupo win it though.
Yeah.
The esports ones, I think I'm just going to skip most of the esports ones because we don't delve into esports much, so I don't really know much about it.
I got it covered for esports.
Whatever
happens with Overwatch League.
Yeah, I had a feeling you were just going to have everything for Overwatch League. Speaking of the Overwatch League, though, the Grand Finals is in there for Best Esports Event. Although EVO or the League of Legends World Championship will probably win that one. We've got in
London
Best
Spitfire.
We got London Spitfire up for Best Esports Team. And then Sung Hee-yeon, Jaejanak Bong is a member of NY.
They
New York
refer
Excelsior.
to him as just Jonak, and I say Jonak.
Yeah, Jonak of New York Excelsior is up for Best Esports Player. And then Best Esports Game I think we can talk about.
Yeah.
We've got, because I know enough about like the games that esports are played on. I don't know much about analyzing the players and the coaches and the hosts and stuff like that.
I'll keep it simple for me. I say that
I know what you're gonna pick here, but let me read off the nominees before you.
Fine. Mister, I read off the nominees last week.
Well, I want to remind people, and I want you to fully, I want people to know what we're looking at. We got CS:GO, Dota 2, Fortnite, League of Legends, and Overwatch.
I want Overwatch, but I'm guessing it'll probably be Fortnite because everyone be crazy about Fortnite.
No, it's not. I don't think it's gonna be Fortnite. A lot of people think it's going to be, but if you're thinking about it, Fortnite is not a good esports game. It's a fun esports game, but Fortnite doesn't even have an esports league. They just have like content creator tournaments.
Can I
really
just say?
But
yeah.
I think it's going to be League of Legends because I think League of Legends is the best esports game, has been the best esports game for a while. So I think League of Legends is going to win. A lot of people might start trying to say Overwatch because of the Overwatch League, but I don't think Overwatch is going to win this year. I think the Overwatch League still has some growing to do before it can overtake the likes of CS:GO, Dota 2, and League of Legends as the best esports game. Lasoscope says that he thinks that the winner should be a MOBA. Camera angles are just better. And Big Stupid says you should make a little time to remember Stan Lee. Yes, I think I talked about Stan Lee's passing in the last episode, if I remember.
R.I.P. Stan Lee.
So, yes, rest in peace for Stan Lee.
R.I.P. in peace, Stan Lee.
Also, by the way, rest in peace George H.W. Bush, who passed away last night.
Yes.
The 41st president of the United States. So, rest in peace to you, good sir. Then we've got, after that, I don't know much about these best indie games. I don't know if you do, if you could speak on any of them.
I haven't played any of them, but I've heard a lot of good things about Moss.
Okay. And that is going up against Donut Country, Florence, The Messenger, and Yoshi's Express. I don't know anything about the best student game, so we can skip that if you want.
I've heard the name Dash Quasar, but I have no idea anything about any of them.
All right, well, it's going up against Combat 2018, Jira, Lift, and Recall and Charge. Best multiplayer game. Now, this is the one Fortnite's going to win. Fortnite is going up against Call of Duty Black Ops 4, Destiny 2 Forsaken, Monster Hunter World, and Sea of Thieves. All good games. Sea of Thieves got a bad rap when it first released, but I heard it's been doing pretty well.
Yeah,
it's still a game I want to jump into and try.
I would say I would like to see Sea of Thieves win it. I think Fortnite's going to win, but I would like to see Sea of Thieves win because I've loved every video I've seen of it.
I really want Destiny 2 Forsaken to win because I think what Bungie's done with Destiny, with Forsaken, has been incredible.
Yeah,
I don't know if you've seen, by the way, because you played OG Destiny. You haven't played any Destiny 2 yet, right?
I've played Destiny 2. I haven't played since the first DLC that they came out with for Destiny 2.
Have you heard about the leaked cutscene for the new Destiny DLC, Black Armory?
I don't know what it is, but I heard that it was leaked.
Yes, and it's amazing.
Okay.
I will just say it's amazing. If you want to go find it and you're a Destiny fan, go find it because mind-blowing moment. You need to play Forsaken. You need to watch that cutscene.
I need to get time to do that.
So, but I think Forsaken was great. I haven't had time to play it because I've been trying to any spare non-WWE stream like gaming time I've had has been dedicated to Red Dead Redemption 2 because I want to get through that. But I do want to get back into Destiny 2. I think Forsaken was great.
Did you
I
get
think
a
it's a great
Tesla horse
multiplayer
yet?
game. No.
Okay.
Black Ops 4, I think, also deserves a strong mention here because it was a strict multiplayer game, and Blackout's getting a lot of good reviews.
Yeah, I've heard that. I know a couple of people have played it and love it.
When it comes to multiplayer in the last year, Fortnite's king.
Yeah,
and there's no way Fortnite's losing.
Can I tell you something quickly about Fortnite that I thought was hilarious?
Sure.
Little joke that Justin McElroy, formerly of Polygon.com, had tweeted out was, "Here's a fun game to play at Thanksgiving and Christmas. Any teenage relatives you have there, anytime you see them doing anything with their cell phone, just go up to them and ask them, 'Oh, is that Fortnite?'" And then just keep asking them to explain Fortnite to you over and over again.
That's just a way to be a grade A jerk.
Yep.
Best sports/racing game. I actually haven't read any of the reviews of these games. None of the games I've played this year are actually nominated, so I don't know if I can actually make a prediction on this.
My prediction is, I don't know, I'd say FIFA 19 or Mario Tennis Aces, because I've seen and heard a lot of good things about Mario Tennis Aces.
Yeah, I think Mario Tennis Aces might win this one. I know Pro Evolution Soccer has been getting better and rivaling FIFA, and FIFA's been good but not great, and that's what I've heard about NBA 2K19. It might even be Forza Horizon 4 who takes it. I honestly don't know, but those are all the nominees.
Yeah.
Best family game. We got Mario Tennis Aces, Nintendo Labo, Overcooked 2, Starlink, Battle for Atlas, and Super Mario Party. I think Labo's winning that.
I was
just
gonna
because
say
of the craze
Super
behind
Mario
Labo.
Party.
Could be Super Mario Party, but I think, Super Mario Party also is just like,
yeah,
you know about Mario Party. You can call it a family game, but fights break out.
Yeah, exactly. I almost got into a fist fight over Mario Party once.
Yeah, I would have to go with probably Nintendo Labo just because of the craze that went up about it.
Yeah.
Best fighting game: BlazBlue Cross Tag Battle, Dragon Ball FighterZ, Soul Calibur 6, and Street Fighter 5 Arcade. I heard Soul Calibur 6 is good, but I gotta say Dragon Ball FighterZ has gotta win.
Yeah.
He's gotta win because not only
I heard a lot of people complain about it though. That's the thing.
Really, I've heard a lot of good things, and
it
was repped in Evo, I think, this year too.
I've heard a lot of people say they really like it. I've heard a lot of people say they don't like it. But if I had to take a guess, as much as I would like Dragon Ball FighterZ or Soul Calibur 6 to win, I think it might be Street Fighter 5 just because people are always absolutely crazy about Street Fighter.
Yeah, but Street Fighter 5 wasn't received very well, and so who knows if arcades will be good. But yeah, like Laserscope said, Dragon Ball FighterZ should run away with it. They had a huge showing as Evo, as I said, and he's got that Cell emote. That was the Evo emote apparently.
Okay.
Dragon Ball FighterZ. So yeah, like I said, I think Dragon Ball FighterZ, especially with all the characters they introduced. I actually need to go back to Dragon Ball FighterZ because I haven't beaten the storyline yet. Okay. I was playing the storyline. I'm like, this is cool, but I want to maybe try my luck online. And then I got my crap pushed in very brutally. I couldn't even get a move in online. And I was I'm going to step away from this for a little while. I haven't gone back, but I do want to go back just to try the new fighters that have come out as DLC. Because I think Broly's come out, Cooler's come out.
Apparently, it's making Gogeta canon.
No, that's the new Broly movie.
Oh, okay. I thought they were saying it was the game as well.
Good. I would say spoilers, but Toei Animation spoiled that actually this week with a new trailer.
Yeah,
yeah. For the movie.
Yeah.
But yeah, Dragon Ball FighterZ. I think Dragon Ball FighterZ is going to have it's either Fighters or Xenoverse 2 are going to have the new Broly and the new Gogeta in there. Laserscope, the other guys are Broly, Cooler, Android 17 from the Universe Survival arc in Dragon Ball Super, and Saiyan Saga, Goku, and Vegeta when they fought each other.
Okay.
So, awesome. And I'm sure there will be lots more characters going in the future. Dragon Ball FighterZ has got some legs, so I think that's my pick.
Okay.
So, best VR/AR game: Astrobot, Rescue Mission, Beat Saber, Firewall Zero, Moss, and Tetris Effect.
I'm going to say Tetris Effect. I've been hearing people raving about that.
I've been hearing a lot of things about Tetris Effect. I think if it's not going to be Tetris Effect, my prediction is that it's going to be Beat Saber. Because I think a lot of people have been huge on Beat Saber.
That's true, yeah.
So I think it's Beat Saber, but I also see Tetris Effect winning. Best mobile game: Donut Country, Florence, Fortnite, PUBG Mobile, and Reigns Game of Thrones.
Personally, I think it is going to be PUBG Mobile. Because apparently Fortnite does not run that good on mobile.
Really? I think just the Fortnite factor is going to allow it to win. But PUBG Mobile has been fun, and I've heard really good things about Reigns Game of Thrones. I haven't tried it, but I've heard really good things.
I heard it.
Games for Impact. I don't know if I can make a pick on this, but these are all based on like these games are made on causes, either like to support a cause or to shine light on a cause. So I just want to at least mention the nominees again. 11/11 Memories Retold, Celeste, which I believe is up for Game of the Year, and the Game of the Year list too. Florence, Life is Strange 2, and The Missing, JJ Macfield and the Island of Memories.
I'm going to say Celeste.
A lot of people are saying that Celeste is one of the best games of the year, so it probably will win.
Celeste has one of the best game soundtracks I've ever heard.
Have you played Celeste?
I have not played it personally. I've seen a lot of gameplay of it, and I've listened to the soundtrack several times because the soundtrack is absolutely amazing.
Nice. Then we've got Best Performance. This is going to be one of the hardest. This is where we start getting into the God of War, Spider-Man, Red Dead Redemption 2, and maybe even Assassin's Creed Odyssey thing where like it gets hard to make predictions amongst these games going forward. Starting off with Best Performance, we've got Brian DeChart as Connor in Detroit Become Human, Christopher Judge as Kratos in God of War, Melisanthi Mahut as Cassandra in Assassin's Creed Odyssey, Roger Clark as Arthur Morgan in Red Dead Redemption 2, and Yuri Lowenthal as Peter Parker in Marvel Spider-Man. Fun fact, by the way, Yuri Lowenthal, he's also the voice of Sasuke Uchiha if you're a Naruto fan in the English
Interesting.
anime. Yes. So, do you have a choice? Do you have a pick? I already know who I think will win.
I think my pick should be obvious, boy.
Yeah, you're going to go with Christopher Judge?
Yeah.
I think it's going to be close between Yuri, Christopher Judge, and Roger Clark. But
probably.
I'm probably going to go with Roger Clark as Arthur Morgan. Okay. Just because watching the cutscenes and the acting in Red Dead Redemption 2 it's just incredible. And it is the driving point of the story. Not that like God of War and Spider-Man aren't like really, really good. I think it's going to be really close between these three guys.
Yeah, probably.
I have just, and this might be my biased opinion leading into why I'm making this prediction, but like when I watch the cutscenes for Red Dead and I see Roger Clark portraying Arthur Morgan, like it is just so good. Like the acting is so good, so believable. Like I like lose myself in his performance.
Okay.
So that's my pick there. Laserscope believes it'll be Chris Judge or Yuri Lowenthal. And if Yuri Lowenthal wins, good for him. I've actually been a fan of Yuri Lowenthal as a voice actor for a while. Best independent game, Celeste will probably win.
Yeah,
but they're up against Dead Cells, which I hear is really good.
Into the Breach is
Into the Breach. I heard Return of the Obra Dinn is also good, and The Messenger.
Hopefully, in my opinion, Celeste, but those are some good games there.
Yeah. Laserscope says he hasn't played Red Dead Redemption 2, which is probably why he wouldn't pick Roger Clark. Or didn't pick Roger Clark, but he can't imagine anything beating the ensemble performance of Spider-Man. The ensemble performance of Red Dead Redemption 2 is incredible.
Okay.
Like the guy who plays Dutch, Vanderland, also incredible. I'm surprised he wasn't put up there, probably because they had to pick one guy from the game. Best audio design, Black Ops 4, Forza Horizon 4, God of War, Marvel Spider-Man, and Red Dead Redemption 2. I don't know who would win this. What would win this one?
I'm going to say Spider-Man because of the thwip.
Maybe Spider-Man. Red Dead Redemption 2 might win this because of all the like periodic pieces and all the sound they had to do for that. Black Ops 4, of course, with all the guns, is a good nominee. I think I'm going to go Red Dead Redemption 2 here.
Okay.
Just because of the fact that it's a period piece and you have to capture all those sounds from back in the 1800s and it sounds so convincing.
Mm-hmm.
So I'm going to go with Red Dead there. Best score music, Celeste, God of War, Marvel Spider-Man, Ni no Kuni Revenant Kingdom, Octopath Traveler, and Red Dead Redemption 2.
Celeste.
Again, I love Red Dead Redemption 2's soundtrack. However, you've said really good things about Celeste. I've also heard insanely good things about God of War. So I actually think God of War is going to win this one.
Like I said, I think Celeste because of the fact that I've heard a lot of video game soundtracks over my time. I have actually gone out of my way and downloaded the Celeste soundtrack because it is that good.
Okay. So Celeste might actually pull this one off then and win this one.
especially since it flows so organically with the game of how the music changes with the different levels. It's amazing.
Yes. Then we've got Best Art Direction: Assassin's Creed Odyssey, God of War, Octopath Traveler, Red Dead Redemption 2, and Return of the Obra Dinn.
I think this one's definitely God of War.
I think so too. I think it's Red Dead Redemption 2. I love I love the graphics of Red Dead Redemption 2. But the art direction is more realistic. I feel like Assassin's Creed Odyssey is probably God of War's biggest contender here, maybe even over Red Dead Redemption 2, but I think God of War is winning this one.
Yeah, I think God of War's got to win this one.
Best ongoing game: Destiny 2 Forsaken, Fortnite, No Man's Sky, Overwatch, or Tom Clancy's Rainbow Six Siege.
Ooh.
This is hard, right?
This is really hard for me.
I know, because you really like No Man's Sky and Overwatch.
They're both so good. No Man's Sky has
love
gotten
Destiny,
so good.
But I think it's going to be Fortnite. I can, however, see No Man's Sky pulling off the upset because of how drastic the changes have been to that game over the last year.
I really hope so. I mean, like I said, I've played the game since it came out. And when it came out, I was like, okay, it's not what a lot of people were expecting. I think a lot of people overhyped it. It's good for what it is. My God, that game has gotten so good.
This is probably maybe one of the closest. I mean, a lot of people might say, oh, it's Fortnite right away. But, like, honestly, like Laserscope is saying, even Rainbow Six Siege, it was not good at launch, but now it's big in esports. Now it's really good. It's been changed dramatically. So is No Man's Sky. Overwatch, constantly updating, constantly good. Fortnite, constantly updating, constantly good. What Destiny 2 Forsaken has done for Destiny 2, it has revived what might have been a dead franchise. A lot of people left after the Destiny 2 vanilla because it missed the mark on so many points. And Forsaken has righted the ship for Destiny and set it on the right path once again. Like, every single game in this category deserves to be it deserves to be nominated. And, like, I just feel bad that only one game has to win this award.
One thing I'm going to point out, though, is with Destiny 2, can you get into an epic space battle and then go down to a planet and find an ancient alien ruin and be able to explore it and find some cool artifacts and then quickly go into the ocean and fight sea monsters and build a home there?
No, but you can go into the depths of a civilization by a half light, half dark culture in the middle of the asteroid belt and go deep within the depths of there to fight and hunt an eternal wish dragon made of bones that can shapeshift, and who, after you kill, you must carry its heart while half of your team is inside of its heart, all fighting off enemies at the same time. And then once you transport its heart where you think you need to bring it to end this curse that this thing has put on the entire course of the game, it turns out that this ancient dark, like, worm god from or god of the hive civilization, of this dark civilization that idolizes and uses the power of the darkness itself, has actually been, in a Loki-esque way, tricking you the entire way, and you just did exactly what it wanted you to do. And now that civilization is stuck in a constant 3-week loop forever and ever and ever in order to curse you and that civilization for all time.
They may have that in No Man's Sky too.
Oh man. Lasecope says that no, Destiny 2 is actually probably the weakest here. It might be, to be fair, but I still love Destiny, and I love what Forsaken's done for Destiny 2. Best narrative: Detroit Become Human, God of War, Life is Strange 2 Episode 1, Marvel's Spider-Man, and Red Dead Redemption 2. Good luck picking one.
My guess would probably be maybe God of War, maybe Spider-Man, maybe Red Dead. I don't think it's going to be Detroit, though.
This is one where it's like it's a toss-up to me between God of War, Red Dead, and Spider-Man.
Yeah.
I want it to be Red Dead because so much has been said about the narrative, but I could see Spider-Man winning this.
Yeah. I could see any of those three winning it.
It's a toss-up between the three.
Yeah.
Oh, man. Like, it's going to be so hard trying to make predictions for the end here. It's definitely going to be one of those three, but I don't know.
Yeah.
Best game direction: A Way Out, Detroit Become Human, God of War, Marvel Spider-Man, or Red Dead Redemption 2.
Either God of War or Red Dead.
Possibly. I would like to make a case for A Way Out, though, just because it brought back the idea of split-screen co-op.
Yeah.
in a very interesting way. And this is about the direction of the game and how good it is in its direction.
Yeah. Well, that's part of why I'm saying God of War as well.
And Detroit Become Human belongs in there too, but
yeah, that got some bad reviews though.
Yeah, that's fair. I think A Way Out could do it. But Big Stupid says grow a pair and make a pick. If you're gonna put a gun to my head and make me pick best narrative, I'm gonna go Red Dead Redemption 2 for best narrative. But I'm all accepting the fact that God of War or Marvel Spider-Man can very well win that. Best game direction, I would probably say A Way Out, because I feel like it knew what it wanted to do and it aimed right for it and went right for it.
Yeah.
Although I could see God of War, Spider-Man, or Red Dead Redemption 2 basically upsetting them. Yeah. But I would have to say A Way Out for best game direction. Best role-playing game, Dragon Quest XI, Monster Hunter World, Ni no Kuni 2, Octopath Traveler, Pillars of Eternity 2, Deadfire.
Monster Hunter.
I think it's going to be Monster Hunter World. Ni no Kuni 2 is, I think, the only competitor, but there was such a craze around Monster Hunter at the beginning of the year. I think it's going to be Monster Hunter World.
Exactly.
Best action-adventure game. Stop me if you've heard some of these names before. Assassin's Creed Odyssey, God of War, Marvel Spider-Man, Red Dead Redemption 2, and Shadow of the Tomb Raider.
God of War.
I think God of War is winning this one. Maybe Spider-Man could upset it, but I think God of War is going to win it.
Yeah, same.
I would even say that Assassin's Creed Odyssey could give it a run, but God of War.
Yeah, God of War.
Iskip says, I'm still torn between both of Sony's in-house ones. Each were great, but not in the same way. Yeah, I agree. Like, that's going to be the big thing when you watch the Game Awards this year, is going to be like, you have 3 juggernauts in Game of War, Marvel Spider-Man, and Red Dead Redemption 2. And Red Dead Redemption 2 is the only exclusive, but it's just like, it's going to be a toss-up to see who takes which category. Best action game, Call of Duty Black Ops 4, Dead Cells, Destiny 2 Forsaken, Far Cry 5, and Mega Man 11.
Destiny 2 Forsaken.
Really? Mm-hmm. I would love to say Destiny 2 Forsaken, but I'm actually going to say Black Ops 4. I think because Call of Duty has been known so well for its action and Blackout's so well received, I think it's going to be Black Ops 4. I want Destiny 2 to win, but I think it's going to be Blackout 4. You could argue Far Cry 5, but Far Cry 5, from what I've heard, it was a bit of a disappointment.
Yeah, no.
Was kind of a disappointment.
The most interesting thing I've seen with that game is a bear with a bandana on named Cheeseburger, and the fact that people decide to do like harder runs of the game of doing things like, I'm going to try and take out everyone in this base, but only by throwing melee weapons at people. So like, oh, look, here's a shovel. I'm going to try and use this shovel to knock out everyone in this base and not get caught.
Wow. So yeah, I think Black Ops 4. I would want to see Destiny 2. You think Destiny 2.
Yeah.
And then we're up to the last one, Game of the Year. Assassin's Creed Odyssey, Celeste, God of War, Marvel Spider-Man, Monster Hunter World, and Red Dead Redemption 2.
I could see 4 of these winning. I'm going to go with God of War.
I want Red Dead Redemption 2 to win so bad, but I also think it's going to be God of War.
I kind of don't want Red Dead to win.
Why is that?
Because of everything that's happened with Rockstar in general.
Like what? Like, what are you referencing?
Like the whole 100-hour work week thing.
Yeah, but we don't know how extreme that was and everything. But I don't know. But I think it's going to be God of War. Yeah. I want it to be Red Dead because I love Red Dead so much. I can also see Spider-Man coming in and swooping in and win it. I could also see Celeste coming in and being a surprise. Monster Hunter World, I don't like. Had a lot of hype at the beginning, but I almost don't understand why that's there. Assassin's Creed Odyssey, I understand why it's there because I've heard lots of good things, but I don't think it competes with the other 4.
Yeah.
So yeah, both believe God of War is going to win Game of the Year.
Yep.
All right. So real quick before we get out of here, I just want to go over a couple of news regarding announcements at the Game Awards because there are normally big reveals and trailers to Game Awards. Jeff Keighley tweeted out that the Russo brothers of MCU fame, who have directed Captain America the Winter Soldier, Captain America Civil War, and Avengers Infinity War, and are directing Avengers 4, announced that they will be at the Game Awards for their, and he used the hashtag Worlds Will Change in there. I think they are definitely there to do the world premiere trailer of the Square Enix Avengers game.
I was going to say the exact same thing.
They might come out and say, hey, we've got an Avengers trailer for you, but not that Avengers trailer.
Yeah.
Or they could just be like, "Hey,
Why not
this
both?
is a game. This is a game thing. Why not both?"
Exactly. Yeah.
And we get an Avengers Square Enix trailer, and Avengers 4 trailer.
Mhm.
But
And
I think we're
then-
definitely finally getting the long-awaited reveal of the Square Enix Avengers game with them being there.
And then we can only hope for Paul Rudd to show up, and instead of that, playing a clip from Mac and Me.
Oh God, latest up. Oh bleep! I had not considered the Square Enix game. Yeah, man. And then we also got a reveal from Rocksteady. Unfortunately, Rocksteady is not working on the Superman game that we had all hoped they would be. Sefton Hill, one of the heads of the studio, I believe he is, tweeted out, "Looking forward to the #Game Awards this year. We're still hard at work in our development bunker, so don't expect an announcement from Rocksteady Games with regards to the Game Awards. When it's ready to show, you'll be the first to know, but spoiler, it's not Superman." Womp womp. And then BioWare was teasing that we might see the next Dragon Age game revealed,
heard about that.
which Dragon Age Origins really liked. Didn't get deep into, though. Dragon Age Inquisition I got into big time and loved. I'm close to the finish, but never finish it. I need to go back and finish it, but I loved Dragon Age Inquisition. The BioWare, this story is coming from IGN, saying, because I tried to get to BioWare's official blog, but the site was down or not loading. BioWare General Manager Casey Hudson teased a Dragon Age announcement on a recent post, and Casey Hudson said, "If you've been following these blogs or myself and Mark Dara on Twitter, you know we're also working on some secret Dragon Age stuff. Dragon Age is an incredibly important franchise in our studio, and we're excited to continue its legacy. Look for more on this in the coming months, though I won't tell you where to look." Which is almost being like, yeah, we're announcing something the next month. Game Awards is coming soon. We're not going to tell you it's happening at the Game Awards. Or are we?
Yeah, exactly.
So we might get a new Dragon Age reveal game at the Game Awards. And then I believe there is one more thing here if it wants to give me something that I can read, but we'll see. Lascope is wondering if Mortal Kombat 11 will be shown off. We haven't heard anything from what I know of from NetherRealm Studios. But the last teased announcement that I know of is that Obsidian Entertainment has revealed that they're going to be announcing something pretty much at the Game Awards. We don't know what.
I know what.
What?
Fallout 77. We're sorry, we made it better.
For those of you who don't know, Obsidian Entertainment made Star Wars Knights of the Old Republic 2, good but not as good as the original. Fallout New Vegas, as beloved,
So
arguably as
good.
Fallout 3, and South Park: The Stick of Truth, one of the best RPGs in the recent times, I would quite say. But yeah, they put out these weird ads that were teasing some sort of game on their site, and then put out a tweet saying like, "Hey, have you seen these ads on our site?" So it's believed. Oh, here we go. The page actually finally worked. So when visitors click skip on the ads on the site, they're taken to a second ad that is different based on which fictional company appears. And it says it's just talking about those things. While Obsidian Entertainment was recently acquired by Microsoft, they also were part of the Take-Two Interactive's private division label that was said to be publishing games from 5 different studios, including an unannounced RPG from Obsidian. With a little over the week until the Game Awards, teases and rumors of the announcements are starting to arrive, including a potential Alien Blackout reveal and the rumor of a Superman game from Rocksteady. That's just rumors stuff. So it's believed that we might get some sort of new Obsidian game revealed at the Game Awards.
I won't complain.
So
They good.
but we will find out which games do get revealed in due time, and by due time I mean on Wednesday. So keep your eyes out for that. And with that, that's going to do it for episode 70 of the Super Grapple Bros podcast. We would have liked to have gotten into some of the news, but our reviews and our predictions went super long, where I'm going to have to really rush.
Yep.
Might have to do post-production tomorrow or Monday. So if the audio version doesn't get out on Sunday this week, I apologize. It's just because we had a lot to talk about, because somebody finally came back, came out of his hidey hole, came out of his dungeon in Brooklyn for an episode finally.
Traffic ain't no joke, kids.
Yeah. And as Laserscope says, now that we've done the reunion, it's time for a countrywide reunion tour. Let's do it.
If you increase my pay and, set more dates in my contract.
Pay for the bus to tour us around the world, tour us around the country, and pay for the hotel rooms, and you got a deal.
Maybe get a sponsorship from someone. You never know. I'm okay with things like Hot Pockets.
Yeah. So thank you all so much for checking out this episode of the podcast. You can catch us live on Twitch at twitch.tv/L_Murpho. You can also watch it back on that Twitch channel as well. You can watch us back in VOD form as well on YouTube at youtube.com/LMurpho. The videos go up 24 hours after the live broadcast. You can also listen to us on iTunes, SoundCloud, Google Play, Stitcher, lots of other places where podcasts can be found. What's one of the other ones? Spotify as well. We got on Spotify and Stitcher.
Yep.
Just search Super Grapple Bros there. Do not forget to rate, review, and subscribe. Your reviews mean a lot. Could mean that a lot more people see us because we could become officially rated and reviewed podcast on Apple Podcasts, aka iTunes. Also, don't forget to share, subscribe, like all that good stuff on YouTube. If you have any questions, concerns, comments, feedback of any kinds, there's two ways you can do that. The first is to email us at supergrapbros@gmail.com. The second is to join the El Murpho Discord server, which you can access in the show notes in the audio version, on the channel page on Twitch, and in every single video description on YouTube. You click on that, it's an invite to the server, you join the server, and we have a feedback channel for Super Grapple Bros in that server. There's also the viewer predictions channel in that server as well, and you can join the likes of Bowling Dude and Big Stupid, like they did with Survivor Series, and make predictions against us in our pay-per-views. And if you can beat us in the predictions or tie us, we will shout you out.
Yep.
Also, if you beat every other viewer and predictor, which Big Stupid was, so I forgot to shout him out for beating out Bowling Dude as the top viewer, so shout out to Big Stupid on that as well. That's all of that. You can also check us out on Twitter I am at L_Murpho.
DMurph_42.
And on our Twitter accounts, as well as in the Discord server, we let people know whenever we go live for an episode. So if you join the Discord server or follow us on Twitter, you will be able to get those notifications for when we go live and try to catch us when we're live. So, Big Stupid said he whispered us a kayfabe news article if we need one, and said welcome back.
Don't worry,
you've got a kayfabe news article of the week?
Yes,
or
I
the
do.
episode? And taking the reins back for his ending segment of the show, it is the kayfabe news article of the episode, brought to you by DMurph.
Yep. This week's kayfabe news article is Enzo Amore invades local Applebee's unnoticed.
As he should be. All right, guys, thank you so much for watching. This has been episode 70 of the Super Grapple Bros podcast. Yep. Until we talk to y'all again, peace, deuces.
Bye.
Laters. Bye now. Bye now. I'm gonna creep over to the center of the frame so I can access the button that lets me go to the out scene here in the video version. It's gonna be awkward for people in the sound version, but bye.
Shut up and sit down.